Oh, hey, how's it going, everybody? It is UFC 278 on Combat Culture, and yes, it is I, Matt Ryan, but I am not alone. I am joined by a disembodied voice whose face you'll see a few times during the broadcast tonight. You know him, you love him. He's in Richmond, by God, Virginia. It is the shoulder and face of Brendan Sokler. Hey, buddy.
There's no rest of me. This is what is left after 3 years of that. Floating head, damn it.
Well, we're glad to have you. Glad you are back on the program. And also joining us, as always, on the other side of the metaphorical glass, she is making sure your chats are being read, that your super chats, which we love, by the way. We love those super chats. Those super chats are being acknowledged both in the chat and on the air. She is the lovely, the talented Stephanie Sotilli. Hi, Steph.
Hey now.
Hey now. We've got the professor and the fat baby in the house, and we've got a hell of a card tonight. We've got somebody already, Bren, playing the game. John Bruce in the chat. He's a long time. Steph, he's picking 10-16 for the game tonight.
Long time. Why are you calling your shot so early, bro? It's fine. That's actually a very good pick. That might have been my pick for the evening, but it won't be anymore.
And there's a communication problem because I can hear Brendan. Steph can't hear Brendan. So we're going to traffic cop it here, and we're going to treat it like the Senate. So, Steph, what was the suggestion made the last time by the professor?
That the game should be how many people are in the entourage of the fighters coming out.
Well, that's a part of the game, too. So we're always going to I like doing the time game, but I do like this new suggestion. How many people will be in the entourage for the fighters walking out tonight? Sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's none. For our opening fight, it'll either be Tyson Pedro or Henry Hunsucker making that walk to the cage and also making the walk with the amount of people. Let us know in the chat what time you think the first fight walkout is going to happen and how many people walk out with the fighter. We want to know how many people you think are in Henry Hunsucker's entourage. And Steph, Hunsucker's entourage has got to be a full one, right?
His last name is Sucker?
Hunsucker.
Like, I'm going to get you Hunsucker.
It's spelled Hun, as in Attila the, and Sucker.
Is this that
Yes.
movie from the Coen brothers, the Hunsucker Proxy? It's going to be my most esoteric reference of the evening. Enjoy. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. The audience can hear you. The studio cannot hear you. So.
Oh, how lucky are they? I'm guessing 5 people in the entourage.
5 people in the entourage. Steph, how many people do you think will be in the entourage for the first? For Hunsucker. Or Tyson Pedro, which is also good MMA name. Tyson Pedro's a good MMA name.
Tyson Pedro is a fantastic MMA name.
7 people in the entourage. 7 people. We've got 5. We've got 7. I'm going to go with a nice round 3. It's not a round number, but it is round when you think about it. The bottom of it's round.
You can say it's a round 3. It's just adding a letter. Then you're like good on both sides with like 2 to 4.
That's fair. Loke in the chat saying we are all here to see Rockhold lose. Fair point. Craig Houston from the Planet Houston saying, what the fuck with the Gronks? That's right, guys. Tonight, the UFC has given us competition because the alternative broadcast on the Entertainment and Sports Network are the Gronkowskis.
Are they on a cruise?
They are not on a cruise. Waka Flocka is not there, Steph. It is just the Gronks, the recently retired Rob Gronkowski and his brothers. I don't know their names. I don't remember their names.
Honk and Donk Gronkowski.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure are their names.
And a shout out to Marathon Refrigeration
Straight cash, homie.
for the first time tonight,
Straight cash, homie.
donating $5 Canadian to the cause. So that's like $3.50. I honestly don't know the conversion, but belly to back suplex in our main event of the prelims. It's Alexander Romanov versus Marcin Tybura. A lot of great fighter names on this card. And again, thank you to Marathon Refrigeration for donating to the cause. And Brendan Glover saying, yay, nice shave, by the way, Matt. Yeah, thank you. This was a mistake and an accident. And we learned from it. This is the first time.
No, about your beard, not about your life.
Oh, yeah. Do you have to be right all the time? Just. But if you want to make me feel better, donate some money in the super chat. But we've got some great fighter names here. We'll go over the fights with you in just a second. But while we get people in here, be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. And also, your first time here, ring the notification bell. You'll know when we go live. We are live for every UFC pay-per-view. That's right, every UFC pay-per-view. John Wilson saying Brendan is in the barbecue sauce already. But no, he's just at a wedding, and he's got wedding fever. He's just excited to be there.
Yeah, it's pretty rad. We're here for love and punches.
Love and Punches is also the name of my spoken word album.
Yes.
But we got opening the card tonight. Tyson Pedro going up against Henry Hunsucker. Hunsucker 7-5 walking into the fight tonight. Lost 2 fights at heavyweight to Tai Tuivasa and Justin Tafa. Not doing good against the Polynesian boys by knockout and TKO. This is his first time, at least in the UFC, at the 205-pound weight mark. He's going up against Tyson Pedro, a fellow Australian, a black belt in Kempo and BJJ, has a performance of the night bonus. He ended a 2-fight losing streak in April with a knockout of Ike Villanueva. His losses, though, were to Shogun Rua and OSP. So if you're going to lose 2 fights back-to-back, not the 2 worst guys to job to be completely honest.
No, I mean, even in the latter stages of their career, Shogun and OSP are still bad. We're still in the first minute. We don't want to get cut off by YouTube. Yeah, it's fine. But
the Hungover Moth in the chat saying, how's it going? It's going okay. Aside from feeling air on my face, which is concerning, things are going well over here. Things are going well.
I actually stole all of Matt's facial hair and just this is a paste job. I don't know if y'all knew.
And we got a dick kick. And Romanov has been kicked in the beans. So we've got our first dick kick of the night. The professor is keeping tabs of dick kicks and dick taps in all their varieties, possible dick twists. Oh, that wasn't a dick kick. He kicked him in the belly. He kicked him in his tum-tum. And he's getting
You don't know how much he's dealing with.
Did he shit himself? If a 245-pound man kicked you full on in the stomach, would you shit yourself?
I've shit myself for less.
That's where you go to a doctor.
I have the digestive system of a 34-year-old Jewish man. I sneeze wrong.
Vinyls, the other guy is here. You're saying where is the other guy? The other guy is right here. He's in a hotel room. So
I'm in Richmond.
He's in Richmond. He's in Virginia for a wedding. Not in the studio in New Jersey, but he is here, and you can hear him on the program. But it's a weird thing where you're not to my left, so it's just it's uncomfortable.
It confuses people.
Yeah, because you're just a voice.
I am the ghost of Brendan Fuchsia and past.
Also, the conversion rate 435.
Hey.
But we're moving along here on the beautiful, beautiful night here. Let's go through this card a little bit more. Coming up after that, we're moving to 135 pounds as Yanan Wu will be going up against Lucy Pudilova. Pudilova making her UFC return after being released in 2020. A 2-5 record over the last 3 years in that run. Over 3 years from 2017 to 2020. Her last 2 fights were decision wins in Octagon, spelled with a K, not with a C, MMA. 5-1 in the promotion since leaving the UFC. Her UFC losses, though, Brendan, were to Justine Kish, Antonina Shevchenko, Liz Carmouche, and Irene Aldana. Certainly some solid athletes in that regard. And you take a look at Yanan, lost her last 3 fights, all by decision. Lost 4 of her last 5, all of which in the UFC. That accounts for her entire UFC run. And then her lost in her UFC debut to Gina Mazzani. And on the indie scene, she lost the previous fight to Irene Aldana, which is an interesting fight between two elite, Aldana's a solid name. Pardon me. So, wow, I completely lost my notes here. Mazzani, good name. Yana Kunitskaya, also a really talented fighter. So, not jabroni fights, but this does feel like a little bit of a weaker card tonight. The top 3 fights are all featuring variety of names. You've got Paulo Costa going up against Luke Rockhold. You have Jose Aldo in action, and obviously the main event is a big money fight no matter what you look at it. Leon Edwards getting his shot at redemption against Kamaru Usman with the title on the line. Edwards is his first loss in his career was to Kamaru Usman when they faced off a couple of years ago. Walking into this fight, you want to root for a guy like Leon Edwards, but it's hard to bet against Kamaru Usman.
It is almost John Jones and Anderson Silva-esque during their prime of maybe if you like having your money and keeping your money, you don't bet against these people. The big dramatic question of this, of course, being, has Leon Edwards' growth outpaced where Kamaru Usman is or was? Because Usman's only gotten better in my estimation. But, it is a very difficult thing. To get to the top is one thing. To stay at the top is another, because you're also competing against the tippity top of the division, and that can take a lot out of you. Certainly a couple wars with Covington also Usman has had since then. I mean, we've seen how championship damage can really affect a fighter, particularly the instance that comes to mind for me is like how much that affected the career of like a Junior Dos Santos. Different division, but certainly a thing where if you are facing that level of elite competition, even if your skill set keeps growing, can your body keep up with that? I'm very excited for this fight, Matt.
Yeah, I'm excited for this fight too. And we've got a lot going on here tonight. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Clay Sharandowski, have you seen Kamaru's brother? And he's calling a KO in the first round. I believe that is for Usman, but we've seen highlights of his brother Muhammad Usman, who has had some stellar competition. I believe he competed on the Contender Series. He's had a couple of shots in the UFC. He's fairly new to the UFC. But Brendan, when you look at this fight for Leon Edwards, what, in your opinion, can serve him well against a guy like Usman, who in 5 title defenses has seemed unstoppable?
I think, honestly, the thing that can serve him is a good mentality, as like corny as that might be to say, particularly when you have a force as strong as Kamaru Usman, who seems unbeatable as he really hasn't been beaten. One of the biggest things is not to get spooked by just the level of prowess and to keep your head on straight, stick to a game plan, listen to your coaches, and make sure that your gas tank doesn't run out, because we know Kamaru Usman has one speed, and that is go.
And it is going to be a long night at the office for either of these fighters. That is in our main event tonight at the top of the hour. The main event of the prelims is going into 2:50. So if your start time was 10:16, that's actually a smart play tonight. But we also are doing our brand new game, is how many in the entourage on the walkout. So far, Brendan has 5. Stephanie Sotilli has 7. I have predicted 3. Drop yours in the chat. Let us know what you think. And one of the things that sucks about shaving is that when your Face ID doesn't work on your phone anymore. Like, that's happened to me, like where Face ID isn't working on the phone anymore. It's annoying as hell, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. Vinyl's in the chat saying Rocky is about to sleep Marty Snoozman. Is he a boring fighter, or are y'all just going off of the thing Colby said before he got cooked? Not once, but twice, possibly thrice.
Yep. 'Tis a thing. 'Tis a thing. But I think Kamaru Usman is a dreadfully exciting fighter. But also, can we talk about this Jose Aldo fight?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, one of my favorites of all time. And
Dvalishvili is going to eat him for lunch.
I'm
all in.
Not,
I'm all in on Merab,
like
bro. I'm all in on Merab. Because he's a psychopath. He's being trained by the Longo team, the Sarah Longo team on Long Island. And as we've seen with Aljamain Sterling and a lot of the other products that come out of there, they're hard to fuck with, bro. They're really hard to fuck with. And I really find them to be really interesting, really engaging talents. And I like Dvalishvili. The last time we saw him in action was... Pardon me. He had a fight of the night against Ricky Simon. Has yet to lose since dropping his first 2 UFC fights. He's won his last 7. All but his win over Marlon Moraes were by decision. So if Jose Aldo's expecting an easy night, Dvalishvili is going to look to put him in the meat grinder on pay-per-view in front of God of everybody. And also, it's going to be Mormon Jesus tonight because they're in Utah. Because when I think of violence and I think of a main event between 2 BIPOCs, I think of Salt Lake City, the home of John Stockton, Joseph Smith, and really tiny shorts.
And the Utah Jazz, the most appropriately named basketball team of all time. I once shared an elevator with John Stockton.
Did you boo him?
No, because it was the Olympics and it was rooting for America.
Was this the 96 Olympics?
I was at the 96 Olympics.
Why were you at the 96 Olympics? Were you on a team? Were you a
Do I not look like I can ball, Matt?
No, you don't.
That's fair. Yeah.
You look like someone's business manager on the Miami Heat.
This is also true. Knowing some of the lawyers on the Miami Heat as friends, we do look strikingly similar. But
you look like you should be advising Bam Adebayo on what to do with his McLaren that he's just leased. And he's like,
because I got this like beautiful drink pattern on my shirt? Is it because I look too tropical? Is that what's going on?
You've got very. I don't want to say. I don't want to. Very Miami Vice. It looks like you drove speedboats very, very fast to very specific locations in the 1980s.
My divorce went great, and I went to Macy's, and I got a nice shirt. Leave me alone. But
this coming in the chat, Mick_76 saying Jeff Hornacek GOAT. Of all the people to mention from that time period, Jeff Hornacek, like Byron Russell, I understand. Loke in the chat saying, give Leon some respect, throws fast hands, incredibly fast. No shade on Leon Edwards' hands, aside from the time when he got 2 pieces and a biscuit by the Versace robe-wearing BMF champion. And that wasn't a good day for him. But when it comes to this fight, Edwards has got hands, but when you get dragged into deep waters, and we've seen Leon get inside his own head before, hopefully it doesn't work against him. And the official decision coming in right now for our main event of the prelims between Alexander Romanov and Marcin Tybura, number 11 and number 13 in the standings, but number 1 in your hearts. They are trying to go through the official decision. Marcin Tybura will win by what seems to be unanimous decision, majority decision. So we will go from that to the main card. It is 10:04 in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. And we are getting locked and we are getting loaded. Brian Skolakowski saying cheap shot champ. I don't know what that means. It feels offensive. But we're getting ready for the start of the pay-per-view card. And you want to drop in the chat how many people will be in the entourage for our opening contest. For the first fighter, it'll be either Harry Hunsucker or Tyson Pedro. That is a tremendous name. And also, as always, drop what time you think the first walkout will be in the chat. Put them together. We'll be calling them. We'll be calling them out during the card. Tammy Sosa saying, good to see you, Brendan. It is good to see you, buddy.
See you, gang. It's an honor and a pleasure to be coming in from Richmond from my friend's wedding and to be back with you crazy kids. You know what I think might also be a fun game, Matt?
What's that?
Well, I feel like people generally have a couple valid reasons as to why they might not love Luke Rockhold. But if you have any takes, whether they are real or fictional, about a fighter that you love or don't love, I'd love to hear your fictional, hyperbolic takes as to why you love or hate any fighter that's on the card tonight. I think that could be fun.
Yeah, let us know in the chat. Why do you irrationally love or irrationally hate any of these fighters? And also follow us on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. You can see the gimmick below at Matt Ryan Yells. That is at Matt Ryan Yells. You can follow Brendan on Twitter at Brendan Sokler. You can follow Stephanie Sotilli on Twitter at Steph Sotilli. She is always funny on there. And also she is occasionally on the TikTok machine as well. You can search God's Unwanted Daughter on there, and Steph dropping truth bombs on the Twitter machine. Steph, you're a top follow if you don't know. I was expecting a response. I said
means she did not know that.
I said Steph, you're a top follow. Putting you over. Kingston asking in the chat, anyone train in here? Train in what way?
I ride the subway off.
Train means many things.
Yes. Do you mean in the gym with the mixed martial arts or with the plugs? Are we training with plugs? Mick_76 saying, never liked Usman, don't really know why.
Give me an irrational take. Come on. Is it because of the Penguin Fighting League he has?
Sam Alexander Mintz on Facebook saying, Brent, it sounds like you want to have Rockhold's babies. Do you want to be the provider of Rockhold babies?
Listen, if he's going to provide the money and be supportive, then yeah. No, I used to really love Luke Rockhold, and then I heard him talk. But Strikeforce Luke Rockhold deeply dug.
But it's not Strikeforce. Strikeforce has been dead for a decade. Like we got to remember that Strikeforce has been around. It was around for less time than it has not existed.
Why do you choose to hurt me with age, Matt?
Because it's all coming for us.
Yeah. Speaking of which, didn't he punch a tiger in the balls? Is that why I dislike him? Is that what I'm remembering?
More than likely. John Bruce saying Rockhold is still dangerous. We are still in the opening video package. We are nowhere near a fight yet. So if you're wondering, why aren't they talking about the fight yet? What the fuck? I want to see the fight. They haven't happened yet. It's okay, sweetie. Pour yourself a drink. Light something up. Have something to eat. All will be well. Yes. Kingston saying, all jokes, man, I'm subscribed. I'm glad you subscribed. And also, if you want to give us some...
Straight cash, homie.
One more time, if you want to give us some...
Straight cash, homie.
Donate in the Super Chat on the Combat Culture YouTube page. Super Adam Cox saying, sup, y'all. Sup to you, Adam. The only reason Edwards is being underestimated, according to Loke in the instant feedback, is because Diaz caught him. Yeah, he that's one of those things, but it's also Usman in the last 5 fights. He beat Colby Covington twice. He beat, pull up my notes here because I can't remember anything anymore. In the last 5, he beat Jorge Masvidal twice, and he's retained his title against some really tough competition. Stephen Kelleher there.
Also, where's the hole in his game? Who do you think has such a high level of any discipline that you think
can't give you one? Can't really give you one. Yeah. Kingston saying cuckold is washed up. That's a good one. That's a solid one.
That's low-hanging fruit that I never thought of, and brava.
John Anik looking like he wants to reach these kids tonight. Stanley Franklin saying, good evening, gents. And 1016 is his prediction. Rockhold still has a glass jaw stigma. Well, yeah, he hasn't fought since the pandemic, and his jaw was rearranged in numerous places. Philip the Wise saying, bring back the beard. Yes, I know. I'm gonna. South Texas saying the entirety of South Texas coming in, guys. Joe Rogan looking like a lieutenant that has had enough of his detective's bullshit. He just looks sad. He looks tired. He looks like he every month now, it looks like he just pulled a bank job.
Yeah. Oh, man. Joe, what? No. Oh,
Marathon Refrigeration asking, what is my favorite drink? Well, my favorite drink that I've been having since November of 2 years ago is something that we call a contested election. It is Tito's, cranberry juice, seltzer, and a dash of lime juice. I am going to have one of those throughout the evening off the air tonight. That's kind of how I celebrate. No purple coffee tonight for me. Raiden Thacker just saying hazmat. I don't know what else outside of just hazmat, but thank you. Hazmat to you, my friend. Mick_76, Luke Glasshold. This is turning into a comedy pyramid about fucking Luke Rockhold's name.
I'm deeply comfortable with that. Things that I'm not deeply comfortable with is how much Joe Rogan looks like he just got fired from the Men in Black. And he's having a rough go of it.
Yeah, he is not. He is Mr. I think I said this last month, but he's Mr. Taupe in Reservoir Dogs.
No, he looks like his supplement products are called Off It. Like, honestly, what the fuck?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
We just call these things, kids.
Yeah, we just yell at our various televisions.
Also, big ups to Hyatt for having great internet connection so I could actually come see you guys tonight.
Yeah. Thank you, people who did not give us money. Vinyls in a triangle. Don't know what that means. But we're going to be bringing you the card as soon as it started. 40 Creek and Coke. Interesting. Let us know what you think in the chat below. If you have not liked, commented, or subscribed yet, what's wrong with you? Like, really. Also, Usman walking in there yesterday with the Ted DiBiase Mattel action figure look, the green suit with the silver stripes. Big fan of that. And in other news earlier today, Alexander Usyk retained the World Heavyweight Championship, the Unified World Heavyweight Championship against Anthony Joshua in a very controversial fight. And if Deontay Wilder survives Robert Helenius in October at the Barclays Center, it seems like Joshua and Wilder will finally have their fight. Tyson Fury accepting the challenge, saying write the check to Alexander Usyk and his team. That's a fight I really want to see. That's a World Heavyweight Championship match that I would definitely put my money on. And we got Canelo and Triple G next month. That one's going to be a banger of a fight. DAZN doing pay-per-view now, which I'm not a big fan of. But for Canelo Triple G3, I do want to see that fight. So hopefully our overlords here at Combat Culture will give us the green light to go live on that one, because that is going to be one hell of a fight. They're going over the card right now before we go on the air.
Matt, for the uninitiated in terms of what the controversy was, which I'm uninitiated in this, what was the hullabaloo around that?
Well, a lot of people, one of the scorecards gave Anthony Joshua the fight. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole fight. I didn't get a chance to really sit down and digest it. But from what I was seeing, Usyk was dominating. It was back and forth through a couple of rounds, but Usyk really cinched the fight in the later rounds. And Joshua, not really happy with the decision, gave a weird promo after the fact. Shout out to everybody on Twitter that was keeping everybody abreast of what was going on during the fight. But real sticky situation for the World Heavyweight Championship now, as it might be Fury or Usyk and not Joshua or Wilder, which could help internationally, but Deontay Wilder not being in the mix, an American not being in the mix for the World Heavyweight Championship, ain't all that great. Tyson Fury is one hell of a world heavyweight champion. He's one hell of a fighter. But when it comes to draw, is he a draw in the United States? And if this fight with Usyk will be a real big test.
Certainly. And I feel like it's been a bit of a sticky situation with those three names, other than Usyk, within the mix for the last year. And it just seems like boxing's heavyweight division seemingly can't get it together by like a hair. Well,
the problem is boxing for the last 50 years has been split up between promoters and between networks. So Tyson Fury signed with ESPN. Anthony Joshua is signed with DAZN. Alexander Usyk, I believe, is under the Matchroom Boxing umbrella, which means his fights are on DAZN. So that creates a whole litany of problems. Deontay Wilder is signed to Premier PBC, Premier Boxing Championships, which is signed to Showtime. So it is a gigantic TV rights clusterfuck. And, you know, my many issues with how MMA business is handled aside, and that is, you know, not the biggest a fan of some of the things that have been out in the media lately, or just the way that the business is. You have your great title fights, with limited exception. Like Fedor and Brock didn't happen. Fedor to the UFC didn't happen. We're not going to be seeing a lot of great crossover fights between different brands, but the top guys are able to face the top guys. And we are going into Pedro and Hunsucker, and also it just reads Pedro Hunsucker, which just is unfortunate. It's an unfortunate name.
He had a very easy middle school life. No one made fun of him for that.
And taking a look in the chat here, Stephen Kelleher, haven't watched boxing in years. Stanley Franklin, boxing is boring. Yeah, like there are some great fights and some great fighters, but they're not set the same way as what we have now. And also, we're competing against the Gronks on ESPN. If you have a friend out there who hates the New England Patriots, who hates Tom Brady, who hates anything to do with Bill Belichick and his system, please send them a link to this show. Because if we can beat ESPN, not only will me and Brendan make a lot of money after that, but you beat the Patriots and you beat ESPN. But if you do want to watch the pay-per-view along with us and you want to support our friends over at ESPN, click the link in our description, because shout out to them. But I am awesome. You know, our partnership with ESPN is awesome, but let people know that the real alternative commentary is right here on Combat Culture. Clay Sharondowski, how come you don't do BKFC commentary? You could have saved me $7. Well, problem is, gang, we don't get booked to do those. We are only here for the UFC pay-per-views. If you want us to be doing more stuff, if you want us to be doing more shows, more live streams, let the people know. Let the bosses know at MMA Mania, at Bloody Elbow. Let them know that you want to see Matt and Brendan call more fights. You want to hear Olive the Fat Baby more. You want to hear Stephanie Sotilli yelling at me for being an idiot, because that is probably some of the best parts of these streams. And here we go. And I think it is. Is it 3 or is it 5? Because I'm trying to get it. Well, no, the only ones that count are the people in the Crypto.com jerseys, because that's his actual entourage. It's 3, which means I am the smartest boy. I am the smartest boy. I am the smartest boy. I won! And Henry Hunsucker walking out to the Octagon. Yeah, look at that face.
Somebody designed his tattoos in GTA 5.
Yes. Oh my God, that one on his right pec. That it looks like is that the Carolina Hurricanes logo? Is that an eye? What is that?
That's a hurricane.
It's a hurricane?
Yeah.
It's more of a hurricane.
Whoa!
Yeah. Yep.
Is that the space between the her balls and her ass?
Rhino
But
asking.
I just want to say real quick, Matt, before we get too in the weeds on this, while the Gronks are stepping on our turf, I know Rob didn't defend the 24/7 title. And if they want to step onto our turf, the challenge is there. Tag team match. I'm volunteering Matt's.
What? No.
Yep.
No,
We'll
I have not wrestled in many years, and you will never get me back in the ring again. I am
We
retired.
are doing it, Gronks.
Cut the check. Just cut the check. Taking a look at the chat here. Trigger D, this commentary team is the top of the food chain. Why, thank you. That's very sweet of you. Money grabbers. Oh, no, that's not nice. Super Adam Cox saying, I'd like to see y'all do some Glory Kickboxing. I'll let them know. Yes, let them know. I love Glory Kickboxing. Shout out to the team over there. And Philip the Wise.
Great cash, homie.
One more time for the people in the back.
Great cash, homie.
Donating $2 to the cause. Matt, great job. Let the raspberry jam flow. Let's fucking go. Yes, indeed. Let's fucking go, kid. And Tyson Pedro walking out to the Octagon wearing it's not a pith helmet. It's a safari hat. He is wearing a camouflage safari hat for a fight in Utah. It's a lot of things here that I'm just trying to figure out.
A lot of Utah stuff.
Have you ever been to Utah?
No, I love myself.
I feel like I would be the coolest person in the state of Utah that's not a member of the Utah Jazz.
That is a low bar to step over.
Well, the Utah Jazz are cool now. Like they're owned a little bit by Dwayne Wade owns a piece of them. They're a solid team.
Listen, they have consistently been the coolest thing in Utah. But let me ask you this, Matt. If memory serves, Utah is similar in their arena to Denver in that it's an elevated area. Am I making shit up?
Well, they are above sea level.
Right,
because they're in the Salt Lake, the mountains. That could play a factor into this, but these guys might have they've been there for a few days already. They might be acclimated to it.
I'm very curious to see if that affects the cardio of any of them, because once you get into those higher elevations, we've seen people gas from that if they have not been training properly for high altitude. So I'm curious.
It'll be very interesting if that happens. Checking the chat real quick. It's 5,000, according to Rhino, about 5,000 feet above sea level. Trigger D with an Immortal Technique reference. Bless you. Bless you for that. The coolest thing in Utah, according to the Cat's Meow, was the Jetpack Man at the State Fair in 1969. Jetpack Man. I'm surprised they didn't burn him for being a heretic or something. But we see Tyson Pedro. He's walked into the Octagon. It is 10:22 in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. Mike Beltran will be your referee, and Tyson Pedro is just walking with a purpose. He is stalking back and forth. And let's go to the tail of the tape. Hunsucker 32, Pedro 30. Pedro with the height advantage and the weight advantage and the reach advantage, 6'3" to 6'2", 205.5 to 204.5, and then the 79 to 75-inch reach advantage in favor of Tyson Pedro. Plus 550 underdog is Hunsucker. The minus 750 favorite is Tyson Pedro. And Bruce Buffer looking like he robbed that off a wedding dress. He saw someone at the Venetian at UFC 277. He robbed their wedding dress and turned it into that beautiful coat. That's one of the more subdued coats I think we've seen Bruce Buffer wear while doing this show, Bren.
Bruce Subtle Buffer, just honestly known for his understated nature and his garb. You love to see it.
I love to see everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody across the Combat Culture Network. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
So, Matt, fun factoid, Immortal Technique actually went to high school with not only my friend Evan, who's bringing me deviled eggs, but Lin-Manuel Miranda, and was his bully.
Yes.
The question for you is, who in this fight do you think will be the Lin-Manuel and who will be the Immortal?
Tyson Pedro going to shove Harry Hunsucker into a garbage can. The man's a minus 750 favorite.
This is fair.
He's closed as a favorite in 8 UFC fights at minus 350.
Yeah, those are some pretty stacked odds, one dare say. He looks fucking terrifying.
Yes, he does. He does not look like a sane man.
No, there's not much but rage behind those eyes, and I'm ready to watch it.
I am ready as well, my friend. We are getting ready. It's Hunsucker. It's Pedro. It's fight time on Combat Culture. And this is brought to you by Crippling Anxiety. Pedro controlling the center of the Octagon, trying to put pressure on Hunsucker. Hunsucker now taking control of the center. Pedro with some frantic movements. Push kick to the knee by Hunsucker, missed. Both men standing in the center of the octagon. Left hands by Hunsucker. Pedro playing keep away. Both men will go back to the center of the octagon. Hunsucker with what looks like the Gonzaga Bulldog logos tattooed on both of his shoulder blades, which is a choice. 422 blaze it left to go in round number 1.
Do you think he named one of them Gabriel?
Probably. More than likely.
The thing that's striking me, Matt, is how much larger Pedro looks versus Hunsucker right now.
Yeah. Pedro lands the left hand. Hunsucker tried to get in with the right-left combination, landing with the uppercut. And there's a body kick, and this one could be, and it is! Tyson Pedro splits the uprights, checks the chin, and the Hunsucker proxy bombs at the box office. The Australian walking out of here with a win in our opener, and that one from introduction to finish took 4 minutes. So, ladies, find yourself a man who can give it to you like that. And Pedro just sitting in the middle of the octagon. I don't know why I said that.
I don't.
Well,
if it's
a good finish, that was a good finish. Everybody was satisfied after that one.
Yeah, one could say he put him down under.
Well, we all know that's
God, what a body shot. I initially, Matt, I thought that may have gone low, but
he kicked him in the tum-tum. He didn't catch him in the jingles.
Yes, to use the technical terminology for this.
Yes, the checking in on the instant feedback. Vega Medina, he about to introduce him to Oscar the Grouch.
Good God.
And Tyson Pedro just full-on CM Punkin' right now, Brendan. Just sitting in the middle of the octagon. Very happy and sure of himself, and his coach has just come in and covered him, and he just pinned him.
What a crossbody!
He crossbodied him into a lateral press, got the 2 count, but we have a TKO stoppage in round number 1. If you bet on the underdog, not a good way to start your night. If you were betting on the minus 750 favorite, you probably didn't make a lot of money, but you won. So I consider that to be a positive.
That's been my summation of my career in theater.
And there is the bereft stepdad, Joe Rogan, in the ring, the octagon, to interview Tyson Pedro. That fight, I expected Pedro to get the win. But 1 minute and 5 seconds, stem to stern, was not something I thought would happen. And we'll see the replay. We'll walk you through the replay in a second. Finished all 9 of his professional wins, Brendan. 4 knockouts, 5 submissions. That is Tyson Pedro's career coming out of tonight. And his only 1 career loss was the only time he went to a decision, and that was against Ilir Latifi a couple of years ago. So a big night for Tyson Pedro on pay-per-view. We'll see again that leading with that left hand, just using his reach to his advantage, and there's the kick to the stomach. Just caught him right in the midsection, knocked the wind out of him, and then comes the right hand. Beltran comes in, bing, bang, boom. Thank you, Grandma. Tyson Pedro walking out with his 9th professional win.
No, I mean, what's fascinating about that kick to me, Matt, is it's a push kick, like front kick, went low, but right in the right spot. It's just such killer accuracy and follow through and aggression. Hot damn. Joe Rogan looks like the proudest stepdad right now. He's just like, my kid scored a goal and he said, "Thanks, Dad." Like, fuck me. Also, does Joe Rogan look weird because he stopped tanning? Is that really
it might be that. I don't know. Like, it's just the fact that he decides to wear like that one suit over and over again. Like, it's just it's very like, I want to be Dean Martin.
Yeah.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
Like, he looks like an Audi belly button in a tie, but that's fine.
Checking in on the instant feedback, Brendan. Stephen Kelleher couldn't get my meatloaf fast enough. Shit, now I want meatloaf. Philip the Wise saying, boom, Joe, Wedding Crashers Rogan, no FAP 2022. Good luck with that. Hoy, Pedro. But Brendan, what a first fight and what a way to start the card here tonight for UFC 278. What do you think that right there, that's a bonus, right? Like, that's bonus money. If you finish a dude in a minute and 5 seconds, it's,
Should be.
Yeah.
Should be, at the very least. I mean, you right now have him, in my opinion, top of the heap for getting that bonus, So I'm here for it, man. Honestly.
Samesies. Very much samesies. And if you want to be a part of the conversation, please talk in the chat. Trigger D, you're not chopped liver. There's a lot of things going on. Here's a good one. Here comes the man in black. Yeah, that's a good one. There you go, Trigger D.
Goodness.
We're getting ready for our next fight. It's at 135 pounds. Yanan Wu taking on Lucy Pudilova. Heading into this fight, Yanan has lost her last 3 fights, all by decision. Has lost 4 of 5 inside the UFC. Not good. That is not what you want when you're walking into the Octagon on pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong, Matty. This match feels like the oddball, but honestly, they've structured a lot of these UFC pay-per-views where you have 2 prospect matches and then 3 fucking just bangers in terms of like where people are in the rankings.
Yeah.
This to me reads a little bit like a sleeper that they put in here, but we shall see.
Oh, I forgot to mention that the BKFC was also today. Mike Perry got a win against MVP. Not that MVP. The MMA fighter.
I mean, did MVP ever compete in MMA? I feel like he had a certain amount.
He does BJJ. I don't think he's ever fought professionally in mixed martial arts.
Yeah, I did have in my head that he had that. Shout out to MVP, bad bitch, all-time great.
He called out Jake Paul too for whatever reason. Mike Perry. I listened to the post-match interview and he sounded like he was in a fight. That's all I'm gonna say.
Mike Perry.
It was in England too, so good on the UK Athletic Commission for letting that shit, the fucking British Boxing Board of Control or whomever the governing body of MMA is over there, because I don't know if he would have passed in a couple of states here.
Listen, Boris Johnson checked him out and went, "You look sane," and Mike Perry looked at him and said, "You have great hair," and they both went on their merry way. It was great.
I would love a buddy comedy where it was Platinum Mike Perry and Boris Johnson just traveling around America. That's the new version of Triple D. When Guy Fieri retires, you just split him like an atom, and coming out of it is Boris Johnson and Platinum Mike Perry. And Trojan is sponsoring the Vaseline portion of the fight card, where the fighters get checked in. Back-to-back wins for Pudilova. She is the first Czech fighter in UFC history. 2 wins by knockout, 2 by submission. First Czech female fighter. I'm sorry. Crow Cop, don't hurt me. I know you heard that. Out there, Crow Cop. Don't you fucking come. I met Mirko Crow Cop once during a Bellator media day.
Yeah?
And everything from that Mauro Ranallo video is real. Like, it isn't a work. That's not a work. Mirko Crow Cop is the scariest fucking human being.
Yeah, he's the only exclusion to ACAB I can think of. But because I don't want Left Leg Cemetery. Oh, no.
And we see the walkout of Yanan Wu, or Wu Yanan. You can say it either way. Clay Sharandowski, that's totally awesome. Perry was cut up. MVP had a broken hand and eye socket, according to Shark Hunt. And a shout out to Timothy Blake making a fuel delivery at the 7-Eleven. He is driving on the roads tonight. Shout out to everybody watching us or listening to us while we're on the road. It's National Radio Day. Also, by the way, so happy National Radio Day to all the people like me who love a dying industry and try to do this as a way to placate the fact that the thing they love is dead. But when it comes to National Radio Day, it is really cool to kind of be like that old Jack Buck or Bob Murphy voice for you guys while you're on the road calling the fights for you. Real honor to be the person that, me and Brendan, Steph, and everybody here get to be the voice of the fights for you and entertain you instead of you dropping $60 to $70. But if you do want to drop the $60 or $70, you can go into the description below, click the link, and you'll be helping us out here at Combat Culture. Another way you can also help us at Combat Culture is by giving us some straight cash, homie. One more time, some straight cash, homie. By donating in the super chat. If you want to donate to the super chat, just hit the $ button on the chat function. And taking a look again at the chat here, Philip the Wise, pound that like button. He's not wrong. Mirko is Croatian, not Czech. I thank you, but either way, I'm covering my bases here. I'm covering it with all of Eastern Europe. Also forgot Croatia and the Czech Republic were two different countries. So don't hurt me again, Krokop. Again, don't try to hurt me. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Yanan is 26, Pudilova 28. Both are at 5'8". The slight weight advantage for Yanan, who's weighing in at 136 to 135.5. Slight reach advantage for Pudilova as well, 67.5 inches to 66 inches. And here comes the Abuelita doily jacket of Bruce Buffer as he makes the introductions. Yes, John, I know. I just completely forgot. I forget where people come from sometimes. I had that happen with Patty Pimblett once, and I was really embarrassed.
You're just like this obviously Welsh gentleman, Patty Pimblett.
Yes. And I because his name is Patty, I am Irish, so I'm like, oh, it just was in my head because this don't work good. If you've watched enough episodes of us doing this,
You're an idiot.
There we go. Thank you, Stephanie. I am an idiot, but I'm a well-meaning idiot, so that's why they keep bringing me back here.
Have we recorded Steph just saying that and made it a button? Because I feel like that.
Oh yeah, no, Steph's a robot. Like it's a function on my board. If you hear me press the button here, you can just hear me saying,
You're an idiot.
One more time.
You're an idiot.
Herb Dean is the referee in our second fight of the evening. That's just good coordinate. That's just good board control by me.
That made me laugh more than it had any right to.
Yanan is the
got kids.
Yes, the plus 115 underdog is Yanan. And here we go. Stephen Keller, he doesn't know where he's from. That's true. Here we go. Round one, brought to you by My Need to Feel Compassion and Love. And both fighters trying to figure each other out here. Pudilova putting the pressure on, trying to go for the takedown. Yanan almost got a field goal kick in there. But Wu with her back pressed up against the fence as Pudilova trying to take control of the fat baby. In the studio, as always, wanting nothing but attention and snacks. Pudilova trying to find a way out of the grappling situation she started, as Wu trying to isolate the left arm of Pudilova. Now Wu with her back pressed up against the fence, knees her way out of it, lands a solid right jab right to the forehead of Pudilova. Low kick by Pudilova, 4:04 left to go in round number 1 of 3. And we'll see if it can actually go past 2 minutes.
I would love if every fight was 2 minutes long. I think that would be fascinating to just see what the UFC production crew would have to do.
I don't think we have the material to last the whole show without that. And a shout out to Brendan McGee donating to the cause. 3:36 left to go in the round. Both fighters in the center of the octagon. Leg kick by Wu, met by a left hand by Pudilova. Pudilova trying to let that left hand fly, throws another jab, does not land. Leg kick again by Wu. Overhand right missed by Pudilova. Pudilova checking that nose. She is tapping at her nose. We might have a raspberry jam situation, or that nose might be jacked up. Another left hand by Wu. Takedown by Pudilova. Gets her down, and now trying to push off is Wu, trying to use her legs to posture off the hips. And now, and Pudilova comes in with a right hand, and Wu catching the shoulder, now trying to pull it in for a guillotine, trying to pull into submission from the bottom, or trying to reenact the Yoko and John Rolling Stone cover. I'm not necessarily sure. The leg trap now. Now, but Pudilova on top, trying to get into side control. She does. Transitions into side control. Wu on her back. Trying to climb that leg up the body. Try to get to the shoulder. Twisting and contorting her body around is Wu to try to find a position to get Pudilova off of her. 2:27 left to go in round number 1 of 3. And now,
I wouldn't be surprised, Matt, if she's going for a head and arm choke and transitions over to the other side. It looks like she's got the neck pretty good.
Yeah, trying to work in and ratchet on the submission, trying to go for a choke, or at least just try to isolate the neck. Wu trying to breathe heavy here.
It's a lot of pressure also, Matt, just to breathe and to be able to try to hold off a head and arm choke at this point. You're gassing your arms. You're gassing your just general gas tank. It's not an enviable position for Wu right now.
It is not where you want to be as a fighter, especially when you're getting yourself gassed for as long as that is. You've been on the ground for almost a minute and change, just stuck in this position, literally rotating left hand, by Pudilova, just slamming the wrist in the side of the hand.
It's a different position, Matt, than when we're talking about like a leg triangle or something like that, where it's like, well, it takes a lot of effort to be applying that submission, but it's honestly gravity when you're dealing with a head and arm choke. It's not as hard for Pudilova in terms of what it exacts on her gas tank. It's all Wu having to struggle.
And she is riding the struggle bus right now, just pressed over the body right now. It's a lateral press situation. Wu just trying to push out of this. Pudilova just controlling the pace of this fight. Looked like early going Wu was going to catch some momentum, but Pudilova has been, since this takedown exchange, now she's on top. Trying to get out of it is Wu. Wu splits out of it, but gives up the back. Pudilova going for the back. Wu covering up. She's got to protect her neck. Back trying to backpack is Pudilova. Suplex attempt possibly, or a trip takedown. Back elbow misses by Wu. Good job by Pudilova keeping her head low. And now Wu pressed up against the fence. Knee to the body. The shoulder and neck of Pudilova driving into the top of the chest, going up into the neck of Wu with 6 seconds left to go in the round. We will be going to round 2 in Salt Lake City. But what a round by Pudilova. Lucy
Truly,
Pudilova.
Matt, I honestly thought Pudilova had a takedown when she looked in that German suplex back position. She was dropping her hips low. It looked like she had the potential to really do a good trip or a good pull down. Big ups to Wu for staying on her feet, particularly after how exacting that top control game by Pudilova was in this.
Oh, most certainly, most certainly. And we want to thank everybody who's watching in the chat, everybody watching across the Combat Culture Network. And we are getting ready for round number 2. Oh, and a forearm shot during the replay. Wu got some solid shots in, but then Pudilova just completely took control of the round and driving elbows and just was drowning Wu into deep water in the ground game. Not where you want to be walking into round 2. That one was a 10-9 round for me for Pudilova.
I'd agree with that, Matt. I really thought that Wu was looking really sharp at the beginning of the round. Her movement in terms of her stand-up was really solid. Pudilova also putting her hand on her hip in a way that made me wonder if she might have tweaked a little something, but The smothering top game of Pudilova was everything in that round.
Certainly was, and a little bit of rock'em sock'em here. 10 seconds and change in the round number 2. 15 seconds gone by in round 2. Leg kicks from Pudilova. Ooh, solid strike exchange. Both landing shots to the jaw on their opponent. Trying to keep some pressure going. Leg kick landed by Wu. Cut left-right combination missed by Pudilova. Wu once again on her bicycle, on her back foot. Steps in, throws a couple of strikes, lands 1 or 2. In a 3-punch combination. Standing in the center of the octagon are both fighters. Now Wu, the aggressor, throws 2 lefts and lands them, switches her stance. Just alternating between southpaw and traditional. Low kick that time by both fighters, both landing kicks to the ankle.
A much higher output of movement than I would expect out of Wu after that first round, Matt.
Yeah, no, she's stepped back into this. I think she had a really good talk with her corner. Body kick landed by Wu. Left hand landed by Pudilova. Both are standing in the center of the octagon. Pudilova is bleeding. There's a little bit of raspberry jam coming. And it looks like it's coming from the eyebrow. Left, right. Ooh, and a left hand from Pudilova. Ate a couple of shots, but threw a solid one of her own. And both fighters once again in the center of the octagon. 3:34 left to go in our second fight of the main card. If you missed the first fight, Tyson Pedro cooked and served Harry Hunsucker in 1 minute and 5 seconds. Both fighters now just pacing around the octagon. Leg kick landed by Wu. Left hand by Pudilova. Throwing another one backed away by Wu. 3:13 left to go in round number 2. Pudilova trying to step inside, going for a takedown again, presses Wu up against the fence. And will the song be the same in round number 2 as it was in 1? Wu finding a way out, but eating a knee to the midsection. 2:57 left to go in the round. Both fighters missing kicks. Leg kick landed that time to the ankle by Pudilova. Left hand thrown by Pudilova. Wu stepping out of the way of a left-right combination. Trying to find some rhythm here. Head kick by Pudilova.
This round, Matt, and despite the fact that Wu looks re-energized, I might still give this round to Pudilova so far.
Oh, and a headlock attempt, a headlock into a bulldog choke, trying to lock it in as Pudilova. She shoot bulldog somebody. Brendan's face tells the story. Shoot bulldog into a bulldog choke attempt, and now inside control. Wu trying to posture, gives up the backpack, snack pack, tap. Not yet, but it's coming soon. Wu trying to get out of it, but an RNC attempt by Pudilova. Trying to close the show in 1 minute 55. Has the alternator grip as Wu trying to pull out of this one. Trying to get out of this situation. The legs are, she untangles herself, but eats a right hammer fist. And once again, in a world of trouble, it is a world of hurt here. Right hand landed by Wu. Ooh, and an elbow to the eye socket of Wu. This one was looking like Wu's round, but this one ain't Wu world. She is getting Wu worn down. How many Wu-Tang puns can I make in a fight? We're going to find out. The over-under is 7.5. Wu trying to break into electric boogaloo her way out of this position, but gives up the back again to Pudilova, who's trying to go with these elbows, driving these shots now in top position, rotating around, and the referee is Herb Dean, so we're going to be here for a while, and it is over. Bionic elbows like her name was Dusty Rhodes. It's Salt Lake City, but the only people that are salty right now are the people who bet on the underdog. Pudilova gets the win in our second fight of the night with another TKO on the card, Bren.
You know, honestly, I think this was a perfectly fine call by Herb Dean. Those elbows were John Jones-esque with their speed and torque. Like, honestly, flippity-dip and terrifying. That was some shit. I mean, you could argue that Wu was intelligently defending herself, but when you have that much force, that much accuracy being thrown like that, you can't intelligently defend against that. It's just too much force. You're getting your basketball head dribbled against the ground. Rough stuff. Good God. Also, the replay of that bulldog choke spiked on the top of her head was Wu.
I've never seen it's happened before, but I don't think we've ever called a shoot bulldog, and a dog who's not a bulldog, not happy with the finish of that. Olive the Fat Baby on Instagram. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Stephen Kelleher, Wu Taint, Mix_76, Hard Times. That Thrap Baby. Tonight, Lucy Pudilova did the thing to the great Kabuki. Sorry, no, that is Wu Yanan. I got the script wrong. But Wu Yanan getting the Dusty Rhodes treatment, Brendan. Getting hit with the bionic elbow. You rarely think two wrestling finishes, both of them popularized by members of the Rhodes family, would be used in a fight.
Yeah. This, to me, means Cody is coming for that world title.
It is going to end. If someone hits Cody's finish, which I don't remember off the top of my head, but
Crossroads?
If someone hits a Crossroads tonight, if Kamaru Usman hits a Crossroads tonight, I'm retiring. I am retiring. Shout out to Clay Sharandowski.
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
Donating $2 Canadian to the cause. And as always, you can donate to the Super Chat and give us some
Straight cash, homie.
by going into the Super Chat, clicking the $sign, and letting us know that you lean and or rock with us. We have about 400 and change in the chat right now. We're so glad you're joining us here on a Saturday night. I'm Matt Ryan. That handsome sumbitch is Brendan Sokler. On the other side of the metaphorical glass is Stephanie Sotilli. Brendan's getting food delivered. Thank God.
I got deviled eggs.
Deviled eggs? Ugh.
Because that's what you want with your fights. Deviled eggs.
Ugh. No, there's a pizza household. If I could get a contested election, if at all possible, I will probably make one in between fights. And Brendan, you'll be able to answer questions in the chat.
I can do that
while you're eating deviled eggs, because
they need to watch me.
That's going to be the name of our spin-off show. Steph and Brendan eat deviled eggs and answer questions, because I don't eat deviled eggs because deviled eggs are trash.
You're an idiot.
Wow.
Shut up.
You really want to start a war, Matt.
Checking in on the chat,
Straight cash, homie.
Justin Clendenin,
Straight cash, homie.
donating 99 cents to the cause ski.
Straight cash, homie.
Thank you so much. And as always, you could donate to the Super Chat by hitting the little $sign gimmick in the chat. Sonic Squad and other friends, I'm really glad you two kissed and made up. 277 was definitely missing your sexual tension. And you know, Brendan.
Yep.
That's not true. But whenever there's two attractive redheads in a room, that's always going to happen. It's a rule. And speaking of attractive redheads, Justin Gaethje in the crowd, and a litany of other fighters. There's Brendan Moreno, the interim UFC flyweight champion. What is the random
best Brendan at fighting?
Who? And coming up, Khamzat and Diaz at UFC 279. That is Saturday, September 10th. Clear your calendars, clear your schedules. Chimaev and Diaz, 5-round main event at welterweight, a non-title main event. Let's go, kid. And the most agreeing with me, Matt, definitely don't eat deviled eggs. Trigger D eating gumbo and drinking whiskey. Mick_76, very bromantic. And there we see Jose Aldo, Brendan. Brendan, I'm going to take a step away for a second. If you want to talk to the chat, let us know what you're thinking. I'll be right back.
I'm going to look at the chat real quick. Smash for the kill. So Stanley Franklin. So, gang, Diaz, do we think he still has a spicy take? I don't think he do. Honestly, it's so much time away from the game and popping in and out. I don't know how he's going to do in that fight. Tell me what you think. John Bruce says, Diaz! It's not a take. That's just capitalization. It's fine, gang. But up next, we have Merab versus Aldo. This is going to be a banger and a half. And honestly, my heart feels fucked up about it. Because Jose Aldo, one of the all-time greats, pioneer of the lighter weight divisions, I really would love for him to win. Do I think he will? No. Does that hurt me? Yes. So feeling a little iffy about it. Tell us your predictions here in the chat. Trigger D says he still got it. I'd agree, but is it enough? I don't know. Maddie, what do you think? This fight coming up.
Oh, well, next up, we've got Jose Aldo against Merab Dvalishvili. I'm going with Merab. I said it before at the start of the show. You always go with the Longo Serra guys because they're crazy. They're actually crazy human beings. But you want to root for Aldo because you love Jose Aldo.
Yes.
But Merab Dvalishvili is a violent motherfucker. He a violent motherfucker. And I root for the violence. Cheers, by the way, to everybody. Cheers, everybody watching along.
And tell us what you're sipping on in the chat.
Yeah.
And, oh, man. Yeah. Shimaev is, I think, going to...
Shimaev lands 7.89 significant strikes a minute. That shouldn't be a thing.
And yet it is, Matt. And yet it is, damn. I mean, other than finishes, which we could say due to longevity, not to detract from Nate Diaz, incredible fighter in his own right. But Shimaev has almost doubled all his stats. Like, I don't know, dog.
I don't know, bro.
That seems a little one-sided to me.
Yeah, but it is, you know, it's a Diaz brother. And Diaz brothers draw money on pay-per-view.
Yep. And also, it's someone with an incredible ground game versus someone with an incredible ground game. And someone who has really great stand-up versus someone with really great stand-up. Yeah, like, I get the math.
It's a fun fight. Like, Nate Diaz has landed 2,386 strikes, the fifth most in UFC history. And also, he hasn't fought consistently in half a decade. How?
It's a weird thing to think about where the Diaz brothers could be if they stuck around.
Yeah, like if they just were able to keep the train, like if they had a better relationship with Dana White, and I think that's true for a lot of fighters, to be completely honest. If they had a better relationship with Dana, or if Dana just wasn't Dana, he was a little less Dana. I think it would be...
Can you think if Sean Shelby was running this shit, we'd be dealing with this?
Probably. And in November, on November 12th, UFC 281, Brendan, in the city that never sleeps, my hometown where you reside, UFC 281, Carla Esparza against Zhang Weili. Whoo, baby! That one is going to be a fucking banger in the Garden. You know what my dream would be, Brendan? That we could do this show at UFC 281 inside Madison Square Garden. Olive agrees.
I think that would be great. Would MMA Mania get all of a press pass, though?
I feel like we could try. Like, I've covered UFC fights at the Garden. I've covered boxing at the Garden. I covered the Joshua Ruiz fight at Madison Square Garden. The dream is to call a fight in Madison Square Garden. Like that. I mean,
certainly, but would they replace me with Olive at this point?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, for ratings at the
Steph,
very
put
least.
it on the poll. Who should call the fights with me inside Madison Square Garden? Brendan or Olive?
I don't like where this is gonna go.
Your job is safe. She can't speak English.
This is very true.
Charlene Cernagel, glad you're here with us, Charlene. Always love seeing you. You're a long time. Brendan is at a wedding, and I don't know the people at the wedding. So I'm not at the wedding. That's pretty much what it is. And thank you for your kind words about Catalyst. Yeah, Catalyst Wrestling is back in action in New York City on September 18th. You can find more information about that and see Brendan dancing at catalystwrestling.com. You can also subscribe to the Catalyst Wrestling YouTube channel, and you can also get tickets. We have special tickets on sale for until the end of this UFC card, so let us know if you attend the show, if you're coming out to the show in Brooklyn on September 18th, a 4 o'clock afternoon show, and we are taking a look at the chat now to look at that. Okay, Steph, that's mean. On the poll now, who should call the fights with Matt at UFC 281? Olive, the cutest puppy ever. Brendan some dude who eats poop. Now, that's not fair. That's not fair. It's never been proven that he eats poop. We've never proven that.
Come on. I just eat deviled eggs.
Well, those are poop. Those are poop. Checking in, it's 65-33. Olive in the lead.
God damn it.
William Stanley roots for you, though. William Stalvey and Stanley Franklin are rooting for you, Brendan. So you got that going for you.
It was an announcing gig to a puppy. All right.
Also, if you want to watch the alternative broadcast, you can watch me and Brendan and Olive or Sean O'Malley. Would you rather hear a dog or would you rather hear Sean O'Malley? Those are the questions you have to ask.
I really thought you were going to... Would you rather hear a dog or would you rather hear all of Fat Baby?
And we see Dvalishvili. He has walked up to the Octagon.
Matt, what is the significance of this hat?
Well, it's the hat of the region. So we've seen Khabib wear it before. I believe it's for Dagestanis. Like it's a traditional Dagestani piece of attire. I'm not trying to say things one way or another in case I'm wrong. Someone in the chat will probably set us straight.
If you know better than we do on this, I was just curious about the hat as it did remind me of Khabib. So I'm assuming, Matt, that you're right.
Well, he's Georgian. I'm sorry. He's Georgian. He is not from the same region, but I believe it does fall within the same cultural guidelines. Vinyl's hashtag team other guy. I don't know what that means. But thank you to everybody joining us in the chat. And if you like what you hear, like what you're watching, donate and give us some in the super chat. We're getting ready for our third fight of the night. It's Jose Aldo against Merab Dvalishvili. Give you a little bit more about Dvalishvili. He is a judo sambo fighter. He's fighting out of Long Island, New York. He trains on the Sarah Longo team. He is a black belt in judo. He's got a one-time performance of the night bonus against Marlon Moraes. I think this might be a fight where we see performance of the night territory. Has yet to lose since losing his first two UFC fights to Frankie Saenz by split decision and a technical submission loss to Ricky Simon. In that time, he has not fought since September of 2021. He defeated Marlon Moraes in his last fight in 2021. Trigger D. He is not from Ray Charles, Georgia. He is from the country of Georgia. And now we see Jose Aldo making his walk to the Octagon. Let us know what you're thinking in the chat. Let us know what you believe will be the winner of the fight, the third fight of the evening. Is so far Brendan winning the poll, despite the fact that he allegedly eats poop, 54-46.
That's called talent, Matt. If I can overcome eating poop to get to announce.
Noted poop eater, Brendan Sokler.
It's going under the special skills list, Matt.
It's on your LinkedIn there, pal?
Oh, absolutely. You wouldn't believe the requests I get. Do you want to be the head of Turner Broadcasting?
Oh, please. RJ saying, Peter Griffin doing commentary. Oh, I haven't heard that one before. Ugh. I'm fat, but I'm not that fat. And I'm also not, I don't have a New England... What? Why are you looking quixotically?
Because, I know the guy tangentially who's the Peter Griffin lookalike, and you just don't look like him.
No, it's just because I wear glasses and have a baby face.
Yep. This is
Look at all this cute. Look at all this fucking adorable. Get in. Get, I can't move the camera, but you just look. This is handsome. This is pretty. I'm pretty.
I'm pretty sure that's what Jose Aldo is saying right now.
Yes, that's exactly what he's saying through his mouthpiece.
It's like, look at me, I am beautiful, god damn it.
He's just singing, I am beautiful, no matter what they say. Merab can't bring me down, no.
I would really love the chat to tell us what is your walkout music that just ruined someone's day.
My walkout song when I was in the industry was "Hit 'Em Up" by Tupac. So
Yeah. When I look at you, Matt, I think hit him up by Tupac.
As
just
you should.
every time. Yeah.
Taking a look at the tail of the tape, Jose Aldo 35 somehow. Dvalishvili 31, 5'6" to 5'7". Aldo with the height and reach advantage, both walking in at 136 pounds. Aldo 5'7" to 5'6" to Dvalishvili, 70-inch reach to a 68-inch reach. That averages out to 69, which is nice. Speaking of nice, Bruce Buffer's jacket. We're getting ready here in Salt Lake for the Coco main event. John Rambo saying, I should never sing again. That's mean.
Wow, John Rambo. Way to draw.
I thought he died. Didn't he? Did he die in one of the movies? Or am I thinking of something else?
I think you're thinking of something else.
Oh, that's what it was. Beaches. That's what it was. Stanley Franklin, more ginger hair. People are wanting me to grow my beard back. Yes, I can't. It doesn't go back in a week. It's been a week. By the next show, it should be back to normal.
Just bare naked ladies.
Yes. It's been.
There we go.
And
because fuck you, John Rambo. Let him sing.
Well, so we don't get copyright striked, I think, too.
Yeah, that too. Fuck. I am deeply nervous for this fight as a Jose Aldo fan, which is a weird thing to say when he's ranked number 3 in the fucking division, but my heart wants it. Because I really would love for Jose Aldo to be a 2-division champion. I think he fucking deserves it.
Well, yeah, Jose Aldo deserves a lot of things. He's a UFC Hall of Fame. Yeah, he deserves a lot of nice things.
Damn it.
Super Adam Cox, how is Aldo not 42 years old? He's been doing this forever, thinking about the WEC days. It's fair. Like, Jose Aldo has been... Like, I was surprised that he is only 2 years older than me. That is disturbing because the man's been around forever, and he also just looks like he's lived a life. He's lived a fucking life.
He is a graduate of the Noguera Handsome Boy Modeling School, and he will put some respect on his name.
Round number 1 is underway, and it is brought to you by the Noguera Handsome School Boys Acting School. And 10 seconds gone by. No strikes thrown yet. Dvalishvili trying to figure out reach. Aldo, both fighters bouncing back and forth like they're playing electric football in real life. Dvalishvili circles around the octagon, both standing on either side of one another. Spinning pack kick by Dvalishvili, sending Aldo on, sending him back a little bit. Just surprised that someone would throw that out within the first 40 seconds of the fight. Aldo stamping his foot down like he's hearing a jug band. Weirdly in 4-4 time. Another leg kick by Dvalishvili. Stepping in is Aldo, trying to land that left hand. 4:07 left to go. Aldo throwing another left hand. Trying to find some control here and some rhythm as either fighter. Dvalishvili continues to step in on Aldo. Just joining us, I'm Matt Ryan. That's Brendan Sokler. This is Combat Culture's coverage of UFC 278. We are live for every UFC pay-per-view left-right combination by Dvalishvili. If you have not liked, comment, or subscribed yet, what the fuck is wrong with you? 3:39 left to go in round number 1. Aldo getting out of the way of the kick, just trying to avoid that. Throws his arms up. Dvalishvili trying to go for what looked like for a second an angle slam, and now has his head trapped by Aldo, trying to go for the single leg takedown as Dvalishvili. Dvalishvili has got the left leg of Aldo. Fighting out of it is the former world champion. Both men will center back to the center of the octagon, and they will slowly throw hands once again. 3:11, whoa, amber is the color of your energy in the name of an awful person. 3:06 left to go in the round. Left hand thrown by Aldo. Standing in the center of the octagon. Overhand right thrown by Dvalishvili. Gets him back to true center right in the middle of the monster logo. Allegedly, that gives you some sort of weird Bane power. I've never been able to figure that part out. Aldo with the leg kick to Dvalishvili.
It's only if you have the monster rehab, man.
Ah, that makes sense.
Heal.
Both fight. Oh, and a right hand by Dvalishvili after what Aldo looked like to be going for a crane kick or a body kick. Left to the body landed by Aldo, but a kick to the knee by Dvalishvili, kicking that front leg of Aldo. Aldo leading with his left. Dvalishvili also leading with his left. Feigns 2 lefts and then throws a right body kick right to the knee. 2:21 left to go in round number 1 of 3. Aldo looking to try to find any way to break the momentum of Dvalishvili, who's been slowly getting in the former champion's kitchen. 2:07 left to go. Another leg kick by Dvalishvili. Leg kick missed by Aldo. Feigning the left hand was Dvalishvili. 2:02. Then a leg kick missed by Aldo. Body kick lands that time, though, by the former champion. Leg kick landed by Dvalishvili. 150 now. Left-right combination, getting inside, trying to go for the takedown again as Dvalishvili tried to do a foot stomp. Aldo trying to press off the hands. His back pressed up against the fence, trying to peel off the Georgian. Punches by Aldo. Aldo still in trouble, stuck in that sweet, sweet Georgia molasses. And yes, I know it's the country, not the state. Peering now, Aldo just trying to find a way to get out of this, but it's a left right, and Dvalishvili sends himself backwards, but gets right back up. 1:20 left to go in the round. Both fight. Ooh, a can kick attempt missed by Dvalishvili. 1:12 left to go in the round. Left hand landed by the up-and-coming contender. Right-left combination. Right landing, left not. Inside, Dvalishvili eats a shot, but takes an overhand right and lands it on Aldo. 59 seconds, under a minute left to go in round number 1 of 3 in the Bantamweight division. Dvalishvili misses the can head kick. 50 seconds now left to go in the round.
You have Dvalishvili really throwing a lot higher volume, seemingly, than Aldo, and missing quite a bit. But Aldo is finding his range, and the shots that he's landing are landing.
They're landing, but they're not. It doesn't feel like they're landing. And Dvalishvili has been able to control the momentum of this round. Remember, this is Utah, so we're getting a wild card in terms of judges here. It's not Vegas. It's not Texas. It's not a normal stop. Leg kick landed by Dvalishvili. 18 seconds left to go in the round. Both fighters. Ooh, spinning back kick landed by Dvalishvili, and Aldo missing with an overhand right and a left uppercut. Knee to the body, and Aldo steps in and then almost gets run up and done up by Dvalishvili. But we will go to round number 2 in the Bantamweight division in the co-main event of UFC 278. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Brendan Sokler, the Texarcist, joining us long time. A conversation in the chat about how old Jose Aldo is. Stephen Kelleher says he's 62. Aldo, according to Amir 1B, is either 51 or possibly 60. Trigger D says Aldo is at least 67 years old.
On the inside. Dvalishvili looks like he's offended that Aldo is fighting him to a certain degree.
That's fair.
Yeah. Just like a lot of 66 monsters have been consumed type energy.
Are you saying he's some sort of Pokemon?
Yes.
Okay. Jose Aldo is a Pokemon. If anybody wants to draw that, please do. Please draw that. And we're getting ready for round 2. Cheers, everybody. And we rock, we roll. Both Dvalishvili will be the first to step into the center of the octagon. Aldo and him will slap hands, and we will get round number 2 started. -110, -120. Dvalishvili, the -120 favorite. Aldo at -110. A good round, a 10-9 round in my opinion for Merab. Aldo can still go, but this is anyone's fight, but because you still got 2 rounds. Conor McGregor watching the card tonight. Ooh, and eating a right hand was Aldo after trying to throw a right leg kick. Dvalishvili push kick to the stomach and then going for that leg kick, chopping down that lead leg. Kick the inside of the thigh, throwing a left jab, eating a left jab. Trying to create... Oop, gets inside, trying to go for the takedown, presses Aldo against the fence. And Brendan, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, in the last couple Jose Aldo fights, the signature leg kicks that he was so known for seemingly aren't getting used as much. And when you have a guy as fast as Dvalishvili, like, it is an important factor that you should be putting into your offense. I'd really like to see Aldo throw out some more volume in terms of his strikes, because right now he's getting worked over.
Yeah, and Aldo 4 for 4 on takedown defense so far. Jeffrey James is a viewer of the MMA holes. Good for you. I'm glad you're watching us and not them. Flying Brian was better. Well, I'm here now. So If you liked Brian, I'm sorry. It's been 3 years, so you've missed a lot. So if this is the first time you're watching our channel in 3 years,
Welcome
sorry
back.
there, Jeffrey. Yeah, welcome back. And maybe fuck you. I'm not sure. 3:12 left to go in the round. Dvalishvili just trying to knee the left leg of Jose Aldo. He's trying to kick the knee out of his knee.
With this, and Aldo looks bored with it.
Aldo just kind of like, he just threw up the what the fuck am I doing here? Aldo is just, Dvalishvili's attempts are stalled like a 66 Cadillac on a hot day in LA. It is not going well for him. He'll break it off and go to the center of the octagon. 2:41 left to go in the round. Aldo now controlling the center.
Ooh.
And Aldo almost landing that head kick, bouncing Dvalishvili off the fence. Aldo missing with the overhand right, steps inside another takedown attempt from Dvalishvili, and Jose Aldo again stopping him and stifling him, unlike the daughter on Wait Till Your Father Gets Home.
Listen, Matt, I was about to say before Aldo unleashed some of those strikes, he's proven that Dvalishvili does not have a takedown for him, that the up against the cage stuff is just not going to quite work against him. But if he doesn't start throwing volume, we're over halfway through this fight, and I still have it for Merab right now because of lack of aggression from Aldo.
Shoulder strikes, though, from Dvalishvili. He throws a motherfucker of a left hand, though, does Aldo. Right hand thrown by Dvalishvili. 1:41 left to go. And output's going to be a concern here. As Brendan said, we are in Salt Lake City. We are in Utah. I don't know much of MMA going on in Utah, especially for the UFC. Shoulder strike again from Dvalishvili. Trying to punch around the head of Dvalishvili is Aldo. Needed a thigh that time by Dvalishvili, who is pressing his shoulders and his neck, much like we saw in the last fight between Pudilova and Wu. And now trying to utilize that same playbook as Dvalishvili to get the takedown. Trying to drive the shoulder into the jaw of Aldo as Dvalishvili. 1:02 left to go. Aldo will break out of it. Both will step into the center of the octagon. Left, right, thrown. And Aldo with both fighters slip. Aldo had the takedown for a second, but he got right back up. He didn't want to stay on the ground. He didn't want to play fuck around and find out. So with 47 seconds left to go, both fighters standing in the center of the octagon. Left hand thrown 2 times by Aldo. One to the body, one to the head. The body shot landing. The head shot not so much. Leg kick landed.
I mean, Matt, when you have a veteran like Aldo connecting with his shots seemingly quite a bit more, but you have more octagon aggressions coming out of Merab, who do you give that to in terms of advantage?
Well, for me, it's about who's controlled the rhythm of this fight, and it feels like such a toss-up. Because you don't. Spinning back fist that time landed by Dvalishvili. 9 seconds left to go. And another takedown attempt. Feels like the 7th or 8th across 2 rounds. Knees to the thigh. And we will go to the 3rd round here. The longest fight of the main card by a significant amount.
Yes.
We will see the 3rd round for the first time on pay-per-view this evening. If you're just joining us, I'm Matt Ryan. That man eating deviled eggs is Brendan Sokler. Stephanie Sotili on the other side of the metaphorical glass. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe to Combat Culture if you have not yet. And if you want to give us some...
Straight cash, homie.
One more time, if you want to give us some...
Straight cash, homie.
You can do that by going to the Super Chat. And let's take a look at the chat. Gavin Ruda, can someone just get dropped already?
Yeah.
It's like, come on, I want to go to the box factory. It's that level of energy. I respect it. John Bruce, hopefully Brendan by Nate Diaz. Oh, that's just mean. That's just mean, John. Why do you want that? Taking a look at the poll, speaking of mean. 45-55 for Brendan so far.
Yeah.
So Brendan losing to a dog beating a dog by 10%. Brendan beats dogs.
Brendan beating a dog. Someone will fucking clip that.
Well, you said it again.
Oh, no.
And here we go. The 3rd round of this fight is brought to you by my inability to communicate my needs. Standing in the center of the octagon are Aldo and Dvalishvili. They give each other a hug. The live betting right now, Aldo plus 210, Dvalishvili minus 295. Bless you. And if you bet on Aldo at the minus because of the live betting, 4:38 left to go in the round. Both fighters standing in the center of the octagon. Now pressing up against the fence. Aldo gets caught but will walk away. Aldo, head kick by Dvalishvili. Aldo stepping around, traipsing around. Kick missed and a punch missed by Dvalishvili. Circling around are both fighters. 4:14 left to go in round number 3 of 3 in the UFC Bantamweight division. We have 2 more fights for you here tonight at 11:20 on a Saturday. And you know what? Kind of love it. Aldo missing with the shot, but gets away from Dvalishvili. Looking to make something happen here. Overhand right missed by the Cerro Longo trainee. Going up against the former UFC featherweight champion of the world.
Matt, if you're the coaches for Jose Aldo, you got to be telling him to keep your distance and hit those fucking strikes. Just start spamming the B button.
Yep, B button, the B, X, Y, A. Kick and punch him about the face, neck, and chest. Put left hand thrown by Aldo. 3:27 left to go. Ankle kick thrown by Dvalishvili. Aldo comes out with a left hand. Looks like there might be a bit of a mouse underneath the right eye of Aldo, or the fact that he is actually secretly 6,000 years old. Stepping inside, and again, Dvalishvili turns that strike attempt into a potential takedown. Aldo stuffs it, but eats a right hand and then a kick to the body. Kick again by Dvalishvili. 2:56, left hand thrown by Aldo. Ooh, right, left, right combination. Trying to combo breaker. The former world champion is Dvalishvili. Stepping closer and closer, left hand thrown by Aldo. Another throw to the body by Aldo.
Ooh. Big shot from Dvalishvili.
And with 2:30 left to go, stepped right in, left, right, and then spinned around. Gets cha-cha slided off the cage as Dvalishvili. 2:20 now left to go in the round. Aldo with his back to the fence. Dvalishvili steps in. Left missed by Aldo. Left-right combination blocked by Aldo. Head kick blocked by Aldo. Body kick to the ankle. Lands left-right combination. Landing by Dvalishvili after a left hand by Dvalishvili. Dvalishvili going for a spinning back fist here, really just trying to find any kind of way, any kind of combination to piece up the former world champion. Minute 48 left to go in the round. Punch to the body with the right hand. Aldo looking a little tired, looking a little gassed here after trying to defend himself from this takedown onslaught. Dvalishvili again going for the single leg. Gets Aldo up against the fence. And you know what? For the judges, this might make Dvalishvili look like the more active fighter, but Aldo has stopped 12 of 12 takedowns. He is 100% on takedown defense, Brendan, and that is a great
defense,
stat.
Matt, beyond even the takedowns, you saw a sequence of strikes that Dvalishvili threw at him, and he honestly looked like he was John Wicking his way through it, but he has not shown the type of aggression that makes me think he's got this in the bag.
Yeah, it's a rough one. It's a rough one with 1 minute exactly left to go in this fight. There's a bit of dancing here. Dvalishvili pressing him up against the fence, him being Aldo. And Aldo all gets taken down kinda. He was in the Luther Campbell position for a second. Dvalishvili trying to knee the thigh. 40 seconds left to go in the round. Aldo getting kneed in the back of the thigh, just trying to Charlie horse that thigh. 4 minutes and 29 seconds of control time for Dvalishvili. 30 seconds left to go in the round. And it looks like Aldo might be taking the L-ski here. 25 seconds now. Aldo in trouble. The all-time great getting worn down here by the Cerro Longo fighter from the country of Georgia. Just continuing to spam those knees into the hamstrings of Jose Aldo, trying to protect his hammies now is Aldo. 6 seconds left to go, trying to go for the German suplex to finish this off. Dvalishvili and Aldo will end with a brief firefight, and we'll go to the scorecards for the first time on the main card. Brendan, your face says it all.
I feel like, honestly, and this is maybe a bitchy call on my part, as much as I love Jose Aldo, there were 30 some odd seconds of him just getting kneed without any intelligent defending. And while he wasn't in danger of getting knocked out, you could still fuck up your leg that way. And he was showing no effort for it. And I found the lack of output disappointing for how fucking well he was defending things leading up to those last 30 seconds when he just seemed to say, these don't really hurt me, ipso facto, fuck it.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. Taking a look in the chat here. Aldo throwing in the white towel. Aldo getting stifled too. Trigger D saying, shout out to everybody watching us here in the Northwood saying bye-bye Aldo. DeVale, I'm sleepy. The Drake curse taking effect. Trigger D saying, now watch MD go nuts in his post-fight. Tommy Ellis saying, Luke will get slept again. We're not up to that fight yet, but right now the poll's getting a little closer, Brendan. It's 52-48 in your favor. Mick _76 didn't know he was from Atlanta, Georgia. He's not. He's from the country of Georgia. The country of Georgia.
Merab was actually on ATLians.
He was in the Bombs Over Baghdad video.
Yeah.
We're getting the official score now. Let's go to Bruce Buffer.
What do you call this, Matt?
I got Dvalishvili.
I got him 30-27, and Vili. I don't like it.
29-28, 29-28, 30-27. Dvalishvili getting the unanimous decision win. Aldo disgusted. I don't know who that human being is in that outfit. And Aldo dejected on the canvas. Dvalishvili going immediately to him. They embrace two great fighters, two great men, showing each other the ultimate sign of respect here tonight in
Yes, agreed. The ultimate sign of respect. No, but it is a beautiful moment, but also I cannot help but feel a little bit defeated for both men in the regard that Merab put out such high output, but also accuracy wasn't fully there and could not get a takedown worth a shit. Aldo showed incredible takedown defense and incredible strike defense, but could not find any offense or anything in terms of pressing go in those last 30 seconds. It feels like we got both men on an off night. And
I think they kind of canceled each other out, to be completely honest.
I think that's a fair assessment, Matt. Honestly, it was really great takedown defense and honestly just not enough aggression.
Aldo just couldn't find that extra gear that we're so used to seeing out of him to get the stoppage or to turn the fight in his favor. He was so gassed from having to stop those takedown attempts, and I think that was the thing that really cinched the fight for Dvalishvili. Him not getting the takedowns were so important, like that was so important against him, but now he's tied with Aljamain Sterling with 7 straight wins, the longest active streak in bantamweight division. In the bantamweight division, pardon me. That's a big thing for him. He's number 6 walking into tonight. He's going to jump into that top 5. He might be a top 3 challenger after all said and done.
Matt, would you qualify Jose Aldo as a slow starter?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think time comes for all of us, bro.
I hear that, but I feel like the things that Jose Aldo does incredibly well, usually, are incredibly pinpoint strikes and a game in terms of his leg kicks that is utterly debilitating. And in his last couple fights, I feel like he hasn't done that. And when you have a ground game specialist like Merab and you're not doing that, you could have really cut off a lot of his game if you're taking out his gas tank with some body shots, you're taking out his legs with those brutal fucking kicks that he is so known for and has not shown in this fight, or did not show in the last fight I feel like I saw him in. I don't know. I'm a little confused about it.
I think for me, and we're getting some interesting comments here in the chat, if Yanan faced Merab, Yanan would whoop that ass. Super Adam Cox and Raiden Throcker are saying that. Aljamain Sterling, his teammate Sarah Longo, they're showing him on the screen. Him and Merab are teammates, but they're also in the same division. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I don't know if we'll see that fight next, but I don't know if we'll ever see that fight. I don't know how Sarah Longo feel about teammates fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see both fighters. Go ahead, Brendan.
Oh, sorry. A heck of a showing from both fighters. I mean, like, I said it was an off night, but it's an off night for two people that are just utterly fucking exceptional. So, take that with the grain of salt that you will. I personally don't see Merab and Aljamain fighting as being in the same camp. That's not overly common, but
no.
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
Yeah, and we're getting ready for our next fight. You see Paulo Costa getting ready for our co-main event. It'll be Paulo Costa going up against Luke Rockhold, the favorite fighter of one Michael the Count Bisping. That will be our co-main event tonight. Rockhold has the 9th highest significant strike rate in middleweight history, 4.91 significant strikes per minute, but it has been a while since we've seen him. The last time we actually saw him in action was in 2019 when he got knocked out by Jan Blachowicz, and a 3-year layoff for a fighter who was on a 2-fight. He's coming in on a 2-fight losing streak to Blachowicz and Yoel Romero. So he also has the shortest average fight time, the second shortest average fight time behind Thiago Santos. And 4th on the list is Paulo Costa. So both of these guys have an average fight time of under 8 minutes. 7:02 for Rockhold, 7.5 minutes for Costa. That is a dangerous game for any fighter walking in there. But for Rockhold, I know.
It's an interesting thing, Matt, whenever there's a long layoff, because you can heal your injuries. You can be employing new techniques that might make you more dynamic that your opponents have yet to see. However, nothing replaces in Octagon time in terms of how you can train for this. It's a different animal than just training in the gym.
Yeah, no,
I know, because I've never fought in the Octagon.
Yes, no, that is true. Yet.
Makes authority, damn it. Yes. God
well,
knows.
We're paid experts, but we're just paid to be funny.
Listen, when we face the Gronks for who is the most dominant in the first UFC tag team match,
that's not happening. It's not happening.
It's going down, kids. Start tweeting at them. Let them know that their ass has written a check that their mouth.
What weight is that going to take place at?
At sexy weight.
Uh-huh.
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 No one's going to argue with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mick_76. Luke is going to strangle Costa. Vega Medina. Battle of the Dill Holes, which was actually the original name of this show, Battle of the Dill Holes, but that was rejected.
Title fight is underway.
Costa's about to turn him into Luke Out Cold. That's a good one by Vinyls with a Z.
God, there's been some good puns tonight.
The Texorcist live podcast says, "Stay with the girl who brought you to the dance." Trigger D with the haha moment of the night. What if she blew the DJ? It's a fair question. We've all been there. Damn you, Tiesto.
Demetrius Johnson?
No, not Demetrius Johnson.
I get confused sometimes.
I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Brendan Sokler. On the other side of the metaphorical glass is Stephanie Sotilli, asleep, thank God, is Olive the Fat Baby. Sleeping on the other side of the glass. And Paulo Costa, the man with one of the prettiest faces in the violent arts, is stepping into the octagon next. And the stereotype of the pretty fighter.
Yeah, no, let's talk about it.
Yeah, like we have two very pretty men in the co-main event.
You know, I exited ice hockey with all my teeth. And with that, there was a sentiment that I was very good at it. which is not true. However, I do think at this level of MMA, if you can keep your face together, you might be pretty okay at it.
Yeah, and they're interviewing Luke Rockhold in the video package for this. If you're not watching along on pay-per-view, if you do want to watch along, click the link in the description below. Unless you're watching on Facebook, it's in the description above or to the right-hand side. In front of a roaring fire. Like, Luke Rockhold was being interviewed in front of a roaring fire, which is the douchiest thing I think you can get for a fighter interview. Like, let us know in the chat, guys, what do you think is the douchiest thing? Like, you know what, Steph, this is the new poll question. Is anyone getting interviewed in front of a fireplace a douchebag? That is the question on the poll. Simple yes or no.
Reynolds would like to talk.
Well, I was going to now. The results of our first poll, which is gone now. I believe it ended up being 50-50.
No, I texted you the results.
Oh, nope, I've got it. The final results, Olive the Cutest Puppy winning by a 2% margin, 51-48. 51-48. If we get the fight at Madison, if we get a chance to get to the fight on Madison Square Garden, Brendan is having a fit, but if we go to Madison Square Garden, it will be Olive the Fat Baby getting the press credential, but not Brendan. Brendan is dejected, but it's okay.
Because to go to the Barclays Center. What the shit?
It's at the well, yeah. If it's the Barclays Center, then yeah, you get to go. But taking a look at the poll right now, 79-21 in favor of douche. So I think I got it right here.
Yeah.
Also, if you've not seen Borachina Depot on Twitter, one of the best accounts on Twitter. It followed the BJ Penn campaign and some of the other falderall in MMA. If you love shitposting, Borachina Depot is the place to be.
Did BJ win? Did he make it?
No, he finished like fourth, I think. Third or fourth. Antonio Inoki, obviously the first mixed martial artist to ever hold political office. But we've got another.
Straight cash, homie.
One more time.
Straight cash, homie.
Raiden Thacker.
Straight cash, homie.
Donating $2.99 to the cause is Luke Rockhold.
Straight cash, homie.
Walking into the Octagon for the first time in Venom gear. And Paulo Costa making his walk to the Octagon now, Brendan. Looking like a young Lou Diamond Phillips. Looking like a yoked Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah. His hands could be described as La Bambas.
Well, he's trying to be one of the young guns in the UFC. And maybe Young Guns Part 2.
Emilio!
That's mainly because I've been watching Spin City lately.
Yeah. That's good, as it were.
But looking at these two fighters walking into the Octagon, Rockhold looks confident, but Costa feels comfortable. Like, yes. I think this is not going to be a fun time for Luke Rockhold fans. What the fuck is her name? Demi Lovato fans, this might be a good time though.
Oh yeah.
Because Demi Lovato and Luke Rockhold dated for a moderate amount of time. Shout out to Toker.
Also, bad time for Wilmer Valderrama. You know, anyone who dated Demi Lovato seemingly having a bad run this week.
Oof. No mas. No mas para ti. Thank you, Himus Gaming Channel. Love the play-by-play. Thanks. Well, we love you joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. Let your friends know that it's co-main event time. Share the link on social media. Give us a follow on Twitter at Matt Ryan Yells, at Brendan Sokler, at Steph Sotilli. You can also follow MMA Mania and Bloody Elbow. All those links are in the description below. Castellana by KO is according to Trigger D. Shout out to Toker88. He's a long time. Hey, yo to you, my friend. Mick _76. You think Dana injected Costa himself to shut Rockhold's mouth? Jesus, bro. Taking a look at the tail of the tape for our co-main event. Luke Rockhold, 37, 6'3", 185.5 pounds. And Rockhold with the height and reach advantage, both walking in at 185 pounds. Costa walking in at 6'1" with a 72-inch reach, 77-inch reach for the taller fighter, Rockhold, which is going to play into this a lot. A lot of people are talking about the glass chin of Rockhold. He has been dropped in his last couple of fights. He has not fought since 2019.
He's had time to recover. And, a thing that I think might be an interesting factor in this is just the diversity of strikes that Luke Rockhold brings. With the way that Costa's stance usually is, I feel like he leaves himself open to body shots. And we've seen Rockhold really wreck some shop with really hard liver kicks and things of that nature. I'm going to be interested to see how this first round goes, Matt.
Yeah, if we make it out of the first 5 minutes, that's a huge plus for Rockhold, in my opinion.
I'd say so, because God knows that Costa hasn't gone into too many of the later rounds. I mean, both have an incredible finishing rate within a very short amount of time. So later this fight goes, the more I lean towards Rockhold, but he also might get a shit wrecked in the first round.
Yeah, that is entirely possible. That is entirely possible. Rockhold, Costa is the minus 345 favorite according to DraftKings. That's a rough line. Yeah.
And it's not like Rockhold looks like the epitome of confidence right now.
The Matt Carmen saying this UFC has been unremarkable so far, so hope the last two have some aggression. I'd say the first two fights were great. The third fight, if you don't like defense, that is not the fight for you. But we had a first round and the second round finish in the first two fights, so not bad.
Yeah. Put some respect on its name, come on. All right, Matt. Let's saddle up for this.
It's Costa. It's Rockhold. Round number 1 starts. Costa runs right into the middle of the octagon. Rockhold, the more tentative fighter. He's on his bicycle. Will hop back and forth. Step kick. Ooh, Rockhold gets caught with a left hand. Kind of collide into each other. The left leg of Rockhold heavily taped from the ankle up to just below the knee. Rockhold being aggressive now, steps inside, using that left leg, going for a takedown. Is Costa lighting Rockhold up. He is trying to drive him in there. Solid shots with the right hand. Rockhold will stop it and press up against the fence, but he is on his bicycle. He is against the fence. Costa trying to just get in closer and closer. He smells metaphorical blood. He's got toast. He's trying to get some raspberry jam from Rockhold. Lands a high kick and then a left-right combination to the ribs. Rockhold in trouble. Right hand. He leans with it. Almost gets rocked by it. Pressed up against the fence now. Solid shots by Costa. Costa with the takedown. Single leg takedown now. Costa trying to crawl up the body of Rockhold, keeping him away. The former champion pressing the knee into the solar plexus, and a swift kick away from hitting Costa in the beans. 3:36 left to go in round number 1 of 3 in the UFC middleweight division. Rockhold captured in what is called the only position in Utah.
The thing that I'm noticing, Matt, is just how much bigger Costa looks. Like, he seems like a Yoel Romero for this division in terms of just the massive size differential.
3:11 left to go in the round. Rockhold holding on to Costa for dear life. Costa on top with 3:04 left to go in round number 1. Arm underneath the throat of Rockhold. Rockhold keeping his right arm splayed, but his neck is pressed up against the fence. Trying to get out of the way of what seems to be the stronger fighter. Costa imposing his will. Trying to get back up his Rockhold. Rockhold almost giving up his back and now posturing up in top position. Rockhold finding a way out of it, but dragged back by Costa. Rockhold going for the choke. Costa finding a way out of it. Still in top position. Now trying to get into side control is Costa. Costa lands a right hand to the jaw of Rockhold. Rockhold on his back, holding him closely and tightly. This is more reminiscent of the Yoko Ono, John Lennon, Rolling Stone album cover. punches to the thighs by Costa, just punching the left thigh, with the right hand. Costa just driving that right hand into the thigh socket. And now climbing up the body of Rockhold is Costa. Both men looking tired. Costa and Rockhold finds a way out of it, gets back standing, and immediately goes back to the grapple. Little bit of raspberry jam and a right hand by Rockhold. Minute 43 left to go. Both men standing in the center of the octagon. 99 seconds left to go in the round.
Costa might have gotten a little gassed off that, Matt. That's a really high level of output and level of control that he had to exert over Rockhold.
Yeah, no, he looks a little tired here. He is counting down the seconds. 41-7, though. Costa to Rockhold in terms of strikes. So over 5 times the output. And Rockhold going for stiff body kicks. Costa saying, you can't hurt me. I got these abs, which is hurtful. Spinning back kick by Rockhold lands. Costa kind of jumps back. Might have got caught with it a little bit. Rockhold now breathing from the mouth. Right hand, and there's some blood in the nose. Yeah, and it looks like Rockhold's nose is bleeding. So he is breathing heavy through the mouth. Knee to the inner thigh by Costa. And now, trying to slow down the fight is Rockhold. 39 seconds.
Hard to tell which man is more tired right now, Matt. I mean, visually, the broken nose or busted open nose of Rockhold would make you think, but honestly, Costa looks a bit gassed after that high output from the beginning of the round.
Yeah, 23 seconds left to go in the round here. That's Brendan Sokler. I'm Matt Ryan. This is UFC 278. 15 seconds left to go in round 1. Knee to the body by Costa, met right by a left-right combination from Rockhold. Rockhold lasting longer than I think many people saw him going, but both men looking a little tired. 5 seconds left to go. Knee to the body and a right hand by Rockhold, and we will go to round number 2. In Salt Lake City, Brendan, and Rockhold immediately hands on the knees. He is getting directed to his corner. Rockhold, hands on his head. He's
looking worse for wear, Matt. I feel like he just had the adrenaline dump the moment that bell hit.
Yeah.
Rockhold also might be the Damian Priest of MMA, and that every time I see him, I'm just like, this guy. And then every time he fights, I'm like, I can't help but like you when you are this good at what you do.
Rockhold standing in the corner, getting iced down, getting instructions from his corner. We'll take a look at some of the replays here. And then that takedown attempt by Rockhold immediately ate 4 punches to the face. Just shots to the jaw. Rockhold standing up.
Any questions about a glass jaw right now seemingly have been answered for me in terms of Rockhold.
Sean Bowser in the chat saying, inflation hurting Costa's gas tank. You get that. You get the laugh. You get the laugh. And Rockhold covered in blood. Rockhold immediately stepping in. That one's a little too long. But we start round number 2 in Salt Lake City, and Rockhold lands a left hook, and it caught Costa. Costa now eating another left hand from the former champion. Body kick, and Rockhold staggers for a second after a left hand. It looked like he got disconnected from his AOL service, but now Rockhold taking the back of Costa. Costa just trying to muscle himself back up, and he takes the back, and now switches around, both men standing pressed up against the fence, and now in a variation of a Northern Lights suplex, Costa in control, right uppercut, now pressing Rockhold up against the fence. A 9.5-week stance from both fighters. They'll break up and they'll circle around the octagon. 4:10 left to go in round number 2. Right hand evaded by Rockhold. Now left hand by Costa. Rockhold will lean with it and then bounce right back. Rockhold looking a little tired here, little more labored in the output. A right hand by Costa. Rockhold answers with a right hand of his own, but he is starting to look like he has been in a 45-minute war. He looks like Hagler and Hearns at the end of their fight. It is not looking good for the former champion. 3:36 left to go. Feigning the left leg kick is Rockhold. Spinning back kick landed by the former champion, though. Right into Costa's beautiful abs. Body kick, And then a spinning kick to the abdomen, right to the rib cage by Rockhold. He is trying to unleash the bag of tricks here. Evades a left hand and throws a left of his own that lands. 3:13 left to go in the round. Rockhold keeping his hands down, which is a very dumb thing to do with a man with a right hand like Paulo Costa's.
But what did I tell you, Matt, about him executing kicks to the body? He's trying to get Costa to be throwing and overextending himself so he can be throwing more of those kicks.
Yeah, that's not wrong. And we got 247. Costa misses evades a right hand thrown from hell by Rockhold. Once again, Mike Beltran, your referee. 237 left to go. Body kick landed by Rockhold.
These kicks, Matt.
Some real solid output here by Rockhold, but he's looking a little labored, breathing a little heavy here, strutting around the octagon, leaving his hands low. Body kick landed that time by Costa. Immediately going in the cover-up mode is Rockhold, bouncing against the fence. Timeout called, and we have a kick to the dick and balls. That's our first dick and ball kick of the pay-per-view. We had one in the prelims. So
never has anyone been so happy to be kicked in the dick as Luke Rockhold right now to catch his breath.
And we'll see the replay here. Oh, it was an eye poke. Oh, it was an eye poke. Costa eye poked by Rockhold. Maybe doing that on purpose to get a little bit of energy. And a left leg kick to the midsection. And then a head kick attempt by Rockhold. Rockhold again spamming head kicks like me in UFC 3 career mode. Minute 58 left to go in the round. Rockhold holding on to that fence for dear life. Spinning back kick to the head by Costa. Rockhold got into trouble for a second. And Rockhold clutching his abdomen, and it's over. It is over. No, timeout.
No, that was
official timeout. That might have been a kick to the dick and balls, and it is an official timeout. Rockhold. Let's see here again on the replay.
Oh
no! Oh, an uppercut. Oh, an uppercut to the cock. Jesus, Mary, mother of fuck. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, Baruch Atoi Alaneyu. That is not a way you want to get your bris done. Costa sitting down now. We are 35 seconds into this official timeout. Mike Beltran admonishing him. Rockhold trying to figure out where the fuck he is. Rockhold holding his hands up. And now he's covered in his own blood. He has wiped all of his blood on his face.
I deeply love this fight.
This is the second round. And now he is given 5 minutes, which is a fair amount of time if you've ever been hit in the testicles. And Costa having to stay in a neutral corner.
If I'm Luke Rockhold, I take every fucking second of this.
Yup. Toker 88, marbles gobbled. Gittols to smack the sack. Toker 88, rock boxer. The Rockhold bloodline ends here, according to Gavin Ruda. Luke's Coxwold. It's a good one.
Y'all are on point tonight.
It's a good chat tonight. Over 800 people joining us so far. Left hand lone thrown by Costa. I'm Matt Ryan, joined alongside Brendan Sokler, Stephanie Sotilli on the other side of the metaphorical glass. Leg kick thrown by Rockhold. Rockhold covered in his own blood on his face. He smeared it on there. It is a variation of the Crimson Mask. Left hand thrown by Rockhold. Minute 19 left to go in the round. Both men standing in the center of the octagon. Spin. Ooh. Tried to Mama Sa, Mamaku saw him. Costa getting a knee, but a spinning back fist. Ooh, and both men getting a little flashy here with a minute left to go in the round. Trying to create some chaos. Leg kick thrown by Rockhold, going longer than I thought he'd go. I thought he would be cooked in the second round, but Rockhold's showing some spirit here.
Oh,
and a kick to the shin. Rockhold tried to jump it, tried to double dutch it. Punch to the body that time by Costa. 37 seconds left to go.
There's something delightful about two dudes that are gassed then still fucking throw as hard as these dudes do.
and let us know where you are watching along tonight. And if you want an update on the fights that have happened so far, shout out to Stephanie Sotilli. They're updated in the YouTube description on the Combat Culture YouTube channel. Every single fight that's happened tonight, we give you the results. If not, you can go to MMAmania.com. That's MMAmania.com. Shout out to the team over at the mothership, keeping things moving. And that'll be the end of round number 2. We will go to round number 3. Rockhold looking a lot better, Brendan, but to be completely honest, that's another round for Costa. Rockhold needing to be helped. He is being walked over to his corner, and now he will sit down, and he is being checked on by his team, and Rockhold looking tired. Costa looking a little better, but if you looked at either fighter's face walking into the third round, Rockhold looks like he has seen some shit. He looks like Martin Sheen in the third act of Apocalypse Now right now.
I mean, I would say so, Matt, but honestly, I might give that round to Rockhold. There was a lot of output from him, despite the fact that he looked like he had just been put through a fucking cheese grater. The amount of output on the kicks and the accuracy of the strikes, seemingly after Costa had dumped a lot of his energy in round 1, I might give it to him. This is a 1-1 for me right now.
Really? I have it 2-0 for Costa, but I can see what you're saying. Shout out to William in Buckhead. Shout out to everybody watching us in Georgia. We got Vega, Matt, and Gitos from Michigan. We got Big Al from New York, Etcetera's Gaming in Seattle. Wherever you are, wherever you're from, we're so glad you're spending your Saturday night with us on Combat Culture. It is round number 3, brought to you by the fact that you should give us money in the Super Chat.
Straight cash, homie.
4:49 left to go. Costa is a minus 1,000 favorite. Rockhold, a plus 500 underdog. And with a left hand like that from Costa, I can see why. Costa now. Oh, spinning back kick. Rockhold gets Costa down. Rockhold can try to finish this one with a knockdown. He caught him on the back foot, caught him slipping, but not like a hoo-hoo getting out of there. Costa, much like Biggie when confronted by a member of the New York Knicks that he was fucking around with, the girlfriend of, he finds a way out of it, puts on the ski mask, and keeps on fighting.
I just had a brief moment of what was Patrick Ewing doing, but anyway.
Shout out to Stephen Kelleher.
Straight cash, homie.
Stephen Kelleher throwing down $5 in the
Straight
chat.
cash, homie.
And Paulo Costa's got a story to tell here with 3:58 left to go. The man that is just keeping Luke Rockhold cowering in the corner. Not cowering, but in a weird defensive position. And a shout out to Matt Carmen
Straight cash, homie.
throwing down $20.
Straight cash, homie.
Sonic Squad and other friends is watching the fight from my mom's bed, which is weird because she's been dead for 3 years. So, are you sleeping with ashes, my G? Because it looks like Luke Rockhold is about to see his Uncle Charles, y'all. Left hand by Rockhold, and he makes me look like a jerk-off, sending Costa back a few feet.
This is reminding me of Garcia versus Korean Zombie, but make it middleweight.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Rockhold pressed up against the fence. The man won't die. Left hand thrown by Rockhold. 3:05 left to go. Costa keeping his hands back, wanting to get punched by the former champion. Rockhold throws a left hand. Costa now spinning back kick after a left to the body. Rockhold with his hands down, goes for the takedown, smothered, covered, and stuffed like a pepper at the Waffle House. Now into side control. Costa inside control. There's some raspberry jam on the mat, and now just pie facing. Rockhold is Costa.
Incredible, Matt. The takedown stuffage from Costa on that. And also the slippery nature of Rockhold just acting like he was deader than dead and going in for that double leg. I love this fight. This is excellent.
And a shout out to Mick_76. Costa pulling out the old Bo Galata. You've seen that fight, right? You've seen Bo Galata, right?
I believe so.
Oh, you gotta watch that fight.
Yeah.
Minute 53 left to go in the round. And Costa, nothing really happening here. Rockhold on his back. It looks his face is turning into Hans Moleman in real time.
Oh no.
And now taking the back is Costa. Costa trying to slip in the RNC. He's backpacked him, trying to baby Bjorn, the former world champion. Rockhold trying to fight out of it. 1:25 left to go. Rockhold trying to go the distance for the first time in what feels like a millennium. And now just...
Dripping.
Yeah,
Dripping.
He is the big spoon to Paulo Costa's little spoon right now, holding him close, holding him tight, trying to squeeze the life out of him. Rockhold.
Inverse, Matt. We got Costa in the big spoon position.
Yes, he's the big spoon. Rockhold's the little spoon.
Just to be technical about it with our listening audience.
Well, yes, of course. Costa holding on to Rockhold for dear life, like a child not wanting to go to their first day of kindergarten, or it's on a really aggressive piggyback. And Costa again just trying to pull for the choke, trying to get that arm underneath, but Rockhold keeping his right arm up, avoiding getting pulled in by his opponent. Now trying to go for the RNC. And now 25 seconds left to go in our co-main event. Up next, our main event. It's going to be Usman versus Edwards. And now trying to posture up Rockhold, nuzzling Costa, just driving his face into the face of Costa's in his neck. He was fucking nuzzling him.
Yes, to get his blood all over him and make him squirm. It was real weird.
And that will be the end of this one. Rockhold will go to the scorecards. Luke Rockhold looks like he went through a war. Paulo Costa now covered in Luke Rockhold's blood. What the fuck was that?
Delicious is what it was, Matt. Honestly, what a fight.
What a fight. What a night so far. Costa will be winning that one, I think, 30-27 across the board.
I would say so, Matt, but honestly, anyone who said Luke Rockhold was done after the layoff, I would like to have a word with you, because
he did. He gave some effort, but he got Cook City All-Stars for most of the fight.
I don't know about that, Matt. I really do think that second round had some really high and accurate output. The stamina was there. If we had questions about the glass jaw, he took a lot of Costa's best shots. And even when he was repeatedly having to catch his breath after getting his shit wrecked, really defended intelligently against a very strong set of attempts at an RNC, and even had top control enough to give him some nuzzling, a little bit of blood in the eye, as we're seeing in the slow-mo. Fucking gross is Luke Rockhold, and I'm here for it. I think he may have licked Paulo Costa at that last moment. We don't kink shame here, but
no. Is anything mandated by an athletic commission a kink?
I think it makes it an extra kink, man. Oh, good God, what a fight.
That was a fun fight. Taking a look at the chat here. Chris Griffin, thanks, man, for making my night. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate you being here. Choker88 saying, get him, Luke. Just taking a look at some of these here. Amir 1B saying, he's done, dude. Matt Carmen saying, taking shots don't score points. But let's get the official scorecard here. All three judges score the contest 30-27 for Paulo Costa, and Luke Rockhold will walk away, and he'll give a sign of respect. He'll dap up Paulo Costa, and Costa getting some of that Monster Energy drink money. What a night for him and disheveled Lieutenant Joe Rogan, who looks like he's about to star in a remake of the Bad Lieutenant. Making his way to the Octagon to interview him. What a fight, though, Brendan. A solid night from Paulo Costa. Deserves the 30-27 win, in my opinion.
I would agree with that, Matt. Like, I could have given the second round to Rockhold, as I've said. But honestly, a fantastic performance by Paulo Costa. And, like, showing definitely not a flash in the fucking pan. Like, homie's got it.
Yeah, no, Costa's got the proclivity to be the real deal. He's your winner by unanimous decision. I don't think this is the end of Luke Rockhold. I think he's stayed in execution.
Yeah.
For a decent amount of time, But
I mean, talk about fighting spirit, though. Like, really showed the fuck up for a banger against an incredibly game opponent in Paulo Costa. Who do you put Costa up against next?
I don't know. I say you go someone top 5. I don't know where to go in the top 5, but for me, I don't know if it's a title fight, but because
I want him to have one more before a title fight, I think. Because that Izzy fight, I don't think anyone's ready for Izzy, but I do think that if you give Paulo Costa one more fight, he's going to be a lot closer to ready than anyone else in the division.
Toker88 asking the hard questions. What is up with Joe's tired public defender look lately? Contractual requirements? That's what it is. That's it. Toker88 wins the game. He won the comedy pyramid. And now Rockhold being interviewed by Joe Rogan. Ooh, it looks like Rockhold. He looks hurt.
I would not be shocked if Rockhold broke a rib at some point in this.
He is looking frustrated, sad, angry. His first UFC fight since July 6th, 2019. This is the first time on the show we have ever called a Luke Rockhold fight in the 3 years that I've taken over the show here on Combat Culture. Rockhold he's saying thank you. He's taken his gloves off. He doesn't have his gloves on. I think his hand. I think he might have broke his hand. Oh no, yeah, he's got his gloves in his hand. I think.
You think he might retire, Matt?
Yeah, I think the time has come for Luke Rockhold, and going out on your sword, an impressive performance, a guy who gave it all in his last fight, despite taking the loss. And he gives Joe Rogan a big kiss and a hug, gets blood all over him, pats his head. Luke Rockhold, and this is the thing, the UFC, a lot of these guys, the retirement has come, and Luke Rockhold stepping to the center of the octagon. He does not put his gloves in the octagon. He does not put them on the floor, but it could be the end. Could be the end of him as a fighter in the UFC.
I hope it's not, Matt.
Yeah, I hate when that happens. I honestly despise that.
Well, after a 3-year layoff, the type of showing that he gave, and I came in dunking on Luke Rockhold as I am wont to do, but after showing like that against a beast like Paulo Costa, I think he has a lot more in the tank, and I hope to see him come back.
And to finish our poll,
hell of a career.
Hell of a run for Paulo Costa. Taking a look here at the poll, final score. Thank you to everybody who voted. 59% interview in front of a fireplace. Is it douchey or not douchey? 59% say douchey. 40% say not douchey. Bless everyone who voted. Stanley Franklin saying Rogan puts up with DC's nonsense cage side. I don't hate DC. Like of all the people in UFC commentary, he's not the one I dislike the most. Kamaru Usman getting ready for he's the third most title fight wins in UFC welterweight history with 5 defenses, winning the title. Dangerous man, but he's about to play a dangerous game in Leon Edwards. He's gotten wins over Nate Diaz, Rafael Dos Anjos, and Donald Cerrone. This one's going to be a big money fight. This one is going to be a big money main event. Leon Edwards lost to Kamaru Usman the first time these two fought many moons ago. Both fighters have evolved since then. Usman's become one of the most elite fighters in all of mixed martial arts. What will happen when they step into the octagon a second time? Let us know your predictions in the chat. I know some people were rooting for Leon Edwards. So a lot of people were saying Usman was going to become Snoozman. So who do you think will walk out with the title in our main event here tonight? Brendan, what is your take as we head into the final fight of the night?
I think it's really hard to vote against Usman. I think Leon Edwards got rocked in the last seconds of his Diaz fight, which has a lot of people wonder where he's at. Wins over RDA and Donald Cerrone, where they were in their career and the weight class, does make it somewhat questionable as big wins. I think he has improved vastly since that first Usman fight, but do you know who else has? Usman.
Yeah.
So I really can't see Edwards necessarily finding a hole in the armor, as we've not seen anyone find a hole in the armor. So my thoughts are, I got Usman if I'm putting my money on stuff, but I think it will be a hell of a fight.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be one hell of a fight. And let us know your thoughts in the chat. Clay Sharandowski saying Edwards in the second round win RNC. Esworty Qwerty, Usman or body bag. The texter is saying Usman will knock out Edwards in round 2. The number 2 ranked welterweight going up against the top welterweight. Matt Carmen asking about Rockhold. Was he smoking an old style pipe when being interviewed at the fireplace like Dick Cavett? No, he was not in his Dick Cavett bag, which is something that should be a common thing. I think we should do more Dick Cavett style programming.
I think more Dick Cavett references, and from earlier in my evening, more Casey Kasem references.
And we get ready for the main event here tonight. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to us here on Combat Culture. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Brendan Sokler. On the other side of the metaphorical glass is Stephanie Sotilli. And we're getting ready for the co-main event, the main event tonight. And you know, there's been someone that we haven't seen on the show in a while, Brendan. There's been a person we haven't seen on the show for a while.
Matt, I heard the pause.
Yep.
It was a weighty pause.
And
don't tell me.
Yes. Welcome back for the first time in quite some time. You know him. You loathe him. It's Dan A. White. Hi, Dan. So Dan,
Is that not the song?
no, that's not the song. Since we've last seen you, a lot has happened, and you have a new project you're working on.
Yeah, very proud. Can you pick up my legs, please?
Yes.
I'm paralyzed now.
Really?
All puppets are paralyzed.
That's fair. You're a puppet.
That's why. Handlers.
Yes.
My handlers are here.
Ah, yes.
She has nice chest.
Jesus, dude.
That's not why she got the job. No, she's very talented.
So Dan, you have a new project you're working on.
You look so scared. Why are you scared of me?
You're very close to me. Don't.
I'm really good to see my beautiful face.
Yeah. So what do you got going on, Dan?
I have been very busy. And as you know, you put that fucking camera back up. I want to see my face. Look at my face. I'm going to stare at myself in the camera. As you've heard, Sesame Street has been taken off of HBO. Altogether, these puppets need a new home. Puppet shows have absolutely been destroyed because of money and all the things that go on. So, it's become so corrupt, and I'm going to give them an opportunity. I'm going to give them a new platform. They eat what they kill. They get a percentage of every stream. Brand new hands up their ass every season.
But I've heard about this, Dan. And I've heard that you, much like someone you may or may not share a resemblance to, will not pay them fairly for the work that they do.
Eh? Where'd you hear that? You know, you're a fucking piece of shit journalist. What you're telling me is some scumbag PBS media guys out there took my words out of context and wrote stories about it. Oh, Dan's a drug. Dan thinks Kermit did 9/11. Dan was really a Moses puppet with a bad haircut. Get the fuck out of here.
Look. I'm just sticking to the facts here. Are you going to pay the puppets? Are you going to pay the Muppets fairly?
Yeah, fuck you. I don't need lies perpetrated by a piece of shit like you. What are you gonna say next? That I threatened Gonzo with a seam ripper in his dressing room? Look, his chickens came onto me. Okay? Look, some chicks prefer smaller noses to big ones. Huh? You good? You know the size of the boat with the motion of the ocean?
Dan, do you have
Dan, thanks.
You know what I mean?
Dan, yeah. No, we
Do you have any
appreciate.
predictions? Read the fight or anything that has to do with the fight, Dan?
Dan, thank you so much. We got to get ready for the main event. We got to get.
If I could redo
Thanks, Dan. Dan,
two avocados, that's not very good.
Dan didn't give us any insights. Just
nope.
hands up butts.
That was. I hate that puppet.
Yeah, God, the worst.
It's time for the main event. Dana White, much like the person he's not totally not based on at all, an asshole. Just a gigantic, flaming, fucking asshole. But it is time for the main event, Brendan, and that puppet's going to be the death of me one day. Like, that puppet's going to kill me.
Oh, I know.
That puppet's going to be the death of me.
Listen, if you haven't emailed me in like 48 hours, I have an automatic thing that goes to the police. And it says, this was Dan, and if not tangentially, Kamaru Usman having murdered Leon Edwards. It could be a blast zone. We don't know. We haven't seen the fight yet. But them's my predictions.
Leon Edwards walking to the Octagon. Brendan getting ready for our main event here tonight. Thank you, everybody, for leaning and rocking with us on a card that, it's one of those things where the cards where you think they're going to underperform really come through for you. They really find a way to come through for you, and I think that's tonight. Thank you to everybody joining us, whether you're listening, watching, and just seeing a replay of the nuzzle. Just, ugh. Like, it's
We're
just...
going to call that the blood cuddle from now on.
Yeah, the blood cuddle. Hit him with the blood cuddle. 10 straight wins for Leon Edwards walking into tonight. The last loss was to Kamaru Usman in 2015. Third fastest knockout in welterweight history. 8 seconds against Barnazaki. And 6 wins, Brendan, by knockout.
He's a bad man. Do not get me wrong about the fact that I say I have a hard time seeing him win. I can see him win over most people. Kamaru Usman is not most people.
He is not most people. He is not an average man nor an average bear. And we are 25 minutes or so away from seeing which one of these guys is going to walk out with the hardware. And it'll be real interesting.
The UFC big bet down in the corner says if you put $40,000 down, you could get $164,000. Did you put down $40,000 on Leon Edwards? I just want to know.
Brendan, if I had $40,000, do you think that I would be asking all of you right now to go to CatalystWrestling.com and buy tickets for State of Mind featuring Jack Evans, Vanilla Vargas from AAA, and dozens of more stars. Tickets starting at $25 online, but if you buy tickets in the next 2 hours, you get 30% off because we love you. And you can go to CatalystWrestling.com or tinyurl.com/stateofmindnyc. That's tinyurl.com/stateofmindnyc for Catalyst Wrestling's return to Brooklyn and Shiloh's Greenwood, 740 5th Avenue in Brooklyn, New York. For more information, go to tinyurl.com/stateofmindnyc for a special afternoon show. Come get drunk with us and have some fucking tacos. And now walking out is one of the baddest motherfuckers on the planet, and that is Kamaru Usman. Anthony Pizzo saying Usman finishes Rocky. Matt, Mud Danger. Matt does look like he loves some deviled eggs. No, I fucking hate deviled eggs. Sonic Squad, another friend, says, Matt, you can nuzzle deviled eggs off of Brendan's face. Ugh. No offense, buddy. But
here, Matt. Come on. Come get the blood cuddle.
I'm glad I was the only thing on camera at that moment, because do what you just did again.
Come get the blood cuddle.
You pay taxes.
Yeah.
That's just...
You know, Matt, listen, I think also State of Mind is going to be a fantastic show, but unfortunately, I've been voted off as the ring announcer by 2%, and Olive the Fat Baby will be taking over my duties.
I feel like Olive as the ring announcer would be the cutest thing in the history of professional wrestling.
I think I'm here for that. I mean, it's like WLC, but then Olive the Fat Baby.
And you can find more information about Catalyst Wrestling at catalystwrestling.com or subscribe to us on YouTube. New episodes of Catalyst Wrestling Television drop this Thursday. Currently up there, the Infinite TIM against Kid Bandit, which is one hell of a professional wrestling match.
Anger.
You can buy the whole show for $10 too at catalystwrestling.com. And we see Kamaru Usman making his way to the Octagon ski for our main event.
Mm-hmm. Also, feel free to let us know what you think the cutest thing that has happened in MMA or professional wrestling in the chat, because frankly, I'm fucking curious.
Yeah, I want to know. Yeah, I want to know that shit too.
Let me know what's so fucking cute. I want to know.
And let's put together a final poll of the night, Steph, on the YouTube channel, on the Combat Culture YouTube page. Who will win the main event? Will it be Usman or Edwards? Let us know your thoughts. That'll be our final poll of the night here on Combat Culture. Usman being dapped up by his team as he makes the final preparations for our main event tonight. They are in Salt Lake City. I am somewhere in the ether, not in Ethereum, because I am a broke boy, Brendan Sokler. He is joining us from Richmond, by God, Virginia. In Virginia. And Usman, the undefeated in the UFC, second longest winning streak in UFC history behind Anderson Silva. A win tonight would tie him with Silva. 15 for Usman, 16 for Silva. Only fighter in UFC history with perfect takedown defense, 0 for 31. He has stopped every single takedown that has gone his way. And Usman getting in a last-moment prayer before stepping into the octagon. For me, I think this fight comes down to the first 3 minutes of round one.
I think it'll be very indicative, Matt. I mean, it's going to be when both men have found distance, loosened up, and one of them will be setting the tone. A thing that's an odd thought that's indicative of nothing, but I keep seeing some very shredded people, as one would be if you were in the octagon. The repeated thought that I keep having is that person doesn't care for cheesecake. Whole night. Don't know why. Same thought.
Taking a look at some of the answers to your question, but we'll take a tail of the tape first. Usman 35, Edwards 30. The height advantage going to Edwards. He's 6'2", Usman 6 foot even, both walking in at championship weight, 170 pounds. Usman with a 2-inch reach advantage, 76 to the 74 inches of Leon Edwards. Bruce Buffer about to get his thang in. Let's take a look at the chat here. Claudia Gadea. Vinyl saying the cutest thing in MMA. Tabitha Ricci, according to Logic, wins. Nairo Nut just saying Usman. I believe he's rooting for Usman. George Kimmel, he's been taken down once, but Colby counted by Kobe. It counted. I'm just reading what the screen says, pal. Mick_76 rooting for Leon Edwards. Charlene Cernagel saying Rogan sitting down with Connor was cute. Rogan crying with Thug Rose, also cute. Anthony Pizzo saying this is not going to go the distance. He's picking Usman. Let us know in the chat right now. It is a 70-30 margin. It's a little closer now, 71-29, but Usman leading the poll in the Combat Culture YouTube channel of who will walk out of this fight the champion. Keep It saying a TKO will happen. Mud Danger saying Leon will win with a second round TKO. Benny Blanco from the 305. Thought Benny Blanco from the Bronx? No. Usman, according to Alvaro Castillo. George Kimmel, thank you guys again for what you guys do. Thank you. You guys, I appreciate you guys thanking us and being supportive, but we couldn't do this shit without you guys. Like, the reason we're still on the air is because you guys watch us every single month in the thousands, and we don't take that for granted. So as long as you guys want us to stick around, we will stick around.
Except for John Bruce, who wants to replace me with Olive because of my deviled egg proclivities. Listen, I get it. It's Elaine.
Who's
We
Elaine?
appreciate all of you for joining us, though. Thank you.
That's a Stephanie Sotilli joke that has caught me off guard before. Leon Edwards just mean mugging the camera and put a fist up to his head and acted like it blew him away. And that is a lot of white people. That is a litany of white people who
It's
who
called the
made,
Utah, Matt, when it's that many.
I know. I think they don't know who any of these people are. I think they're just excited to be there.
Is this the Utah Jazz? We just came to the arena. We heard there was a happening.
Which one of you motherfuckers Byron Russell?
Can they both be Byron Russell?
Jeff Hornacek, run that boy pussy.
We don't talk about Bussy in the main event, Matt.
I wrote that in my new contract. William Stalvey saying we need you at 34th and 7th Madison Square Garden. Yeah, say a word. If we got to call a fight in Madison Square Garden, I'd retire from life.
I'd put myself festively.
That would be the peak of my human existence, being able to call a fight in Madison Square Garden. I wouldn't know. If y'all think I'm ridiculous now, whoo, baby.
Some creme brulee goat cheese, but right under that would be Madison Square Garden calling the fights.
Herb Dean is your referee, and here we go. Usman doing a crawl to the center of the octagon. Edwards trying to get him on his bicycle early. First round brought to you by the fact that I should probably eat something as soon as we're off the air. Standing in the center of the octagon are both fighters. 15 seconds gone by. Spinning out of a kick attempt is Edwards, and Edwards has got the Kimbo slice ball spot growing real hard on the top of his dome. Kick to the knee by Edwards.
Do you think that means he's ready for the belt? Usman has the full bald. Edwards coming for it.
Yes, that is exactly what that means. The crop circle is the sign. No strikes really thrown as of yet. Edwards.
That's why we're joking right now, kids.
Trying to find his reach. The taller fighter, but has 2 inches less on his reach than the current champion. It's a battle for the UFC welterweight title. It's a main event and a title fight, so that means we're going 5 rounds. Push kick by Edwards. Not landing, but keeping the champion at bay. Edwards is going to have to get inside to get a shot at stopping the champion. Usman putting the pressure on. Leading with his left hand. Edwards leading with his right. Kick by Edwards does not land. 3:45 left to go in round number 1. Leg kick, that time by the champion. Steps inside trying to go for a takedown. The former NCAA wrestler trying to stifle the British fighter. Right hand by Usman. 2 right hands. Both men still grappling out. Standing in the center of the octagon. Edwards stifling Usman so far. Usman slips out of attempt by Edwards. And now Edwards is on his back. Now they're in the only position allowed in the state of Utah. And Usman looking to go to work again. Right hands by the champion. Now trying to pivot into side control. Now trying to rotate around the Luther Campbell position into a belly to back with Edwards pressed up against the fence. Knee to the thigh by the champion. Another knee to the thigh by the champion. Just trying to spam those knees, trying to Charlie horse the knee and the hamstring of Leon Edwards. Now kicking the back of the calf of Leon Edwards. Another knee to the thigh. Edwards trying to elbow the wrist and forearm of Usman. Trying to get rid of that grip. Amateur wrestlers know how to
grip that he has, Matt. Like, this is not where you want to be if you're Leon Edwards. You want to be playing a strike game. You want to be having some distance. Usman,
you want to turn around in a position like this because he is going to keep hammering away. Usman hammer the thighs, and Edwards does turn around. Now that's knee on knee contact or knee on the shin bone, which is a lot harder and could cause a lot more trouble. And Edwards takes down Usman. And it looks like he almost trapped Usman's leg. Looked like that could have gone really bad for Usman. First fighter to ever take. Yeah, in 16 fights, the first fighter to ever take Kamaru Usman down officially is Leon Edwards. And now Edwards sat on top of Usman. Usman trying to posture up and pivot off the hip. Left hands from Edwards. Edwards using his hands here. Not used to seeing Usman on his back, and now trying to pivot out of it. May have to give up his back to Edwards to try to get away to back standing up. Usman playing defense here, not the role we're used from the champion. Edwards has the back of Kamaru Usman, trying to slip that arm under, trying to pull the RNC. The champion getting that arm away, trying to find a way out of this one. 1:09 left to go in the round. Usman in trouble, but finding a way out of it. Needs to slip at that arm away. The arm is underneath, trying to lock it in. Edwards trying to finish the fight, trying to beat Kamaru Usman. Usman trying to find a way to get out of the grip of Edwards. Can the Jamaican-born British fighter take the title to England? Can Usman find a way to stay undefeated in the UFC, win his 6th title defense? He is in a world of trouble here with 38 seconds left to go. Edwards trying to lock in the RNC. Usman struggling out of it again. The pressure of the championship weighing heavily on Kamaru Usman, much like the arms and torso of Leon Edwards. And now Herb Dean checking in. 15 seconds now remaining in the round. Nothing doing here. Trying to make something happen is Edwards. Edwards controlling on the ground against Kamaru Usman, a sentence I didn't think I'd say in this fight. And now they're grappling and throwing hands, and that will be the end of round number 1. And Leon Edwards taking a round from the champion.
Usman looking very composed, but honestly, first takedown of Kamaru Usman in his UFC career. And also, I want to say the body scissors that Leon Edwards had on Usman, it can take a lot out of your gas tank. And for both men, like the type of squeeze that you have to do with non-primary muscles, your hamstrings are not as strong as your quads doing that, but it does cut off the air. And it will be very interesting to see who looks the more gassed at the beginning of this next round, Matt.
Across the combat. Shout out to all 1,200 of you watching us across the Combat Culture Network. I'm Matt Ryan. The voice you just heard was Brendan Sokler. Shout out to Stanley Franklin. Dalton Poole is saying, shit. Dalton Poole also saying this is intense. Stanley Franklin saying it's like we're there. Well, we're glad to bring that level to you. And it'll be the start of the second round here for the UFC Welterweight Championship. Edwards in control, in my opinion. I think it was a 10-9 round.
Yeah.
And away we go. Usman taking it directly to Edwards, putting the pressure on. Kick to the body by the challenger, but Usman continuing to pressure. Right hand, Usman throwing a right of his own, throwing a left hand, trying to let those hands fly a little freer here in the second round. Edwards pressed up closer and closer to the fence. Usman throws a combination and dips away, using his reach to his advantage. Edwards pressing up and now trying to muscle up on Usman again. He thinks he might have his number after that takedown. Made history with the first one. He gets the second one. That might line him up for some gold. Usman trying to posture off of Edwards, who's pressed up against the fence. Needed a body by Edwards. Getting out of it is Usman. Usman throws a straight left. Edwards pounces off the glass. Off the octagon. Usman lights him up a couple of times, but shelling up like Mayweather in the Pacquiao fight is Edwards. Edwards gets caught. Edwards in a bit of trouble. Has to shell up. He's pressed up against the fence. Usman landing shots with impunity. Hey, it took to the main event. Standing in the center of the octagon are both fighters again. Edwards keeping distance.
Some great body shots by Usman a little earlier, but I have to ask how effective that was against Edwards, who really intelligently defended against them.
And we'll take a look now with 3:28 left to go in the round. Edwards pressed up against the fence. Left hand by Usman. Another left hand by Usman and an eye poke by Edwards. That one was unintentional, but caught Usman right in the right eye. So we will have the official timeout. Yeah, I think you speak for many people in that regard.
I don't know how we are this far in the game where we've watched so many fights get fucked up by these gloves that the UFC just doesn't care.
Well, Do you want to know why?
Because money and patents, baby. Yep. Gross. Protect your fucking fighters. Get your shit together.
Yeah, I agree. And we will go back here. Both men will continue after a 37-second delay. 3:19 left to go in the round. Round 2 of 5 for the UFC Welterweight Championship. I'm Matt Ryan. That's Brendan Sokler. On the other side of the metaphorical glass is Stephanie Sotilli, all the Fat Baby, and the Professor. And we are watching both fighters stand in the center of the octagon, both trying to find a way to be the aggressor. Leg kick by Usman, followed by a left hand from Edwards. A left hand to the body by Edwards. 2:57 now left to go in the round. Push kick to the knee by Edwards. Usman continuing in his pursuit, much like Michael Myers on Halloween. You can do whatever you want to him, but he's going to come and put the boombox through your fucking neck. Standing in the center of the octagon are both fighters. Left hand thrown by Usman. Straight left thrown by the champion. 2:38 left to go. Ooh, left-right combination by Edwards. That right hand had some fucking pepper on it. Landed a little lopsided kick to the body by Usman. Left hand thrown by Usman. Right kick by Edwards. Champion looking a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident in this round. Pushes Edwards away, but Edwards will be able to get a couple of shots in. Left hand thrown by Usman. Another left hand thrown by Usman. Both of them being protected by Edwards. 2:09 left to go in the round. Leg kick, right, left hand. That checked the chin of Usman. Edwards making Usman do an internal revenue of all of his teeth on that one.
Usman looks really comfortable within his distance and throwing punches and bunches just generally this round. But Edwards, with that straight shot a little earlier, definitely told Usman, don't get slack on me.
Edwards pressed up against the fence, being pressured now by Usman. Usman's wrists were captured by Edwards. Both fighters will push away and reset. Edwards going for the takedown. Usman stuffs it and now trying to go for the guillotine. Trying to cinch in the guillotine. Has that left arm underneath the neck. In the Luther Campbell position, or a variation of it, is Edwards. Edwards in trouble, trying to make sure that neck and head don't get trapped by the champion. That anaconda grip of the UFC welterweight champion. Edwards finds a way out of it. Knee to the body by Edwards. Both men standing, and they will reset with 55 seconds left to go in the second round. Edwards eats a combination. He is protecting himself, but the champion looking to throw some heavy blows. An elbow thrown by Edwards. 44 seconds left to go. Straight left and a left-right combination to the body by the champion. Throws a straight left, another straight left by the champion. The challenger pressed up against the fence. In trouble is Edwards. 29-17 in significant strikes for Usman in this round so far, and there he gets the takedown on Edwards. 25 seconds left to go in the round. Forearm shot and just driving that elbow into the face of the challenger. 18 seconds left to go in the round. Usman in control, trying to drop those elbows, trying to get some blood, trying to bloody up the cheekbone. 10 seconds now left to go in the round. Left punches to the rib cage. Another elbow with the right elbow by Usman. 5 seconds left to go in the round. Usman on top in what would be considered an illegal position in the state of Utah, and that will be the end of round number 2. We even this one up. Usman gets a little nasty on the way back to the corner, and it will be 1-1 in my opinion. 10-9, 10-9, and we are getting into the interesting part of this fight. The deeper the water goes, Brendan, how bad is that for Leon Edwards?
I think fairly bad, Matt. I mean, honestly, this looked a lot more like a typical Usman round. You had Edwards showing some incredible offense still, even within this round, that I do give to Usman. That straight that he hit, the fact that we have the takedown in the first round, like Edwards is not out of this, but Usman looks comfy and he is firing off.
He certainly does, and I think that that's going to be a problem for Leon Edwards. The deeper this fight goes, the deeper we see all of Usman's skill set, because he got some takedowns in the round. He was outstriking him 27-19 at last count. And we will begin round number 3. Both fighters will step into the octagon, no dap. Well, a quick little dap, and they will keep fighting. 4:53 left to go in the round. Edwards leading with his left hand, same with Usman. Usman in black shorts. Edwards in the red booty shorts. The skin-tight Johns, as they would say in Philadelphia. 437, Edwards controlling the center. Usman trailing around. Head kick blocked by Usman. Would have caught him more in the pectoral and armpit region, but still going high on that kick. 4:25 left to go. Edwards being pushed away from the center by Usman. 4:16 now left to go. Leg kick to the thigh by Edwards. Usman steps in with the left hand. Edwards replies with one of his own. Pitter-pat shot by Edwards. The left hand to the body by the challenger. Defending champion throws a left of his own. Minute gone by, round number 3 of 5 for the UFC Welterweight Championship. Usman trying to go for the takedown, presses Edwards up against the fence, trying to drive him down, and he does. Scoops him up and drops him on his ass, and now pressing up against the body of Edwards is Usman. The legs of Edwards were plied. 3 of 7 on the takedowns, 43% by Usman so far. Edwards gets back up to a upright, gets back on both feet, but immediately Usman pressures him, postures up, and presses the face of Edwards against the fence, and continuing, Brendan, to knee the thighs and the hamstrings and the back of the knee of Leon Edwards. We saw that in the first round.
Not good for you to strike, man. Not good for you to strike. Not good for you to maintain distance. Not good for you to be able to have the power to get another takedown.
Or even on punches where you need to drive through your hips and drive from your feet to land those shots. And just a reverse waist, it's a simple reverse waist lock that Usman has.
It is a thing where, like, this is an energy sapping move that eventually pays dividends in terms of how much it stifles offense. It's very smart by Usman.
Edwards finds a way out of it, but Usman continuing to chase him on his tail as if he was Buford T. Justice and Edwards had a Coors van driving right behind him. And now, a Muay Thai attempt by Edwards that doesn't go through. 2:25 left to go. Right hand landed by Usman. Edwards still pressed up against the fence. Eats the left and a couple of rights, trying to cover up and basically lock up and clinch with Edwards. Edwards gets taken down again for the 4th time in this fight. Edwards keeping his back pressed up against the fence, but Usman trying his way, almost magistrals Edwards, and now takes the back of the British challenger. Right hand by Usman.
This honestly reminds me, Matt, of the Michael Jordan meme from Last Dance. He took me down, and I took that personally.
Stanley Franklin
Straight cash, homie.
donating $5 to the cause.
Straight cash, homie.
Thank you again, Stanley Franklin, for donating to the Super Chat. And if you like what we've been doing so far, donate in the thing below. Just drop a buck or two in there. It goes to help pay the bills, keep the lights on around here, and make sure that we get paid for what we're doing. Right hands landed by Usman to the jaw of Leon Edwards, and now just on the back, continuing to ride him in a variation of side control. Edwards having to drag Usman's body across the canvas, across the octagon, 1:15 in the 3rd round. Before we go to championship rounds here, Edwards looking like he is being dragged into deep water, and he did not get taught how to swim or to scuba. He does not know Scuba Steve, and he is kind of fucked here. 57 seconds left to go in the round. Edwards pressed up against the corner of one of the corners of the octagon.
Edwards does not look like he wants to be here, man.
And but we do. We want to be here. So please
we do.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Usman trying to go for what looks like a guillotine choke. Just trying to go for that submission. Try to end this fight here. Usman now, Edwards on his ass, literally in a sitting position. Usman just landing shots, trying to pull that guillotine, just trying to tenderize Edwards just enough to get him into the guillotine. And 13 seconds left to go in the round. Edwards looking the worse for wear here as we head into championship rounds. Edwards gets back up, and then we'll eat a couple of shots, and we will go to the 4th round.
Just Usman walking through the ref just to shit talk. Like, My God, man. And the strategy of leaning into that guillotine at the end of the round so that Edwards can't actually get a rest. He's trying to recover just anything after that. Hard shots, hard riding of him, and hard blocking of like very tough submission attempts. I do not favor Leon Edwards going this round.
I do not either, but we've got some people who gave us some.
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
Shout out to Adam Rushkowski for donating $5 to the cause.
Straight cash, homie.
Thank you, Adam. Dalton Poole donating 99 cents to the cause.
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
And then Jeff Butler donating $5 to the cause.
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
Thank you guys so much for donating to the super chat and being sure that we can get a sandwich. This is always important.
Or more deviled eggs.
Chuck Taylor Saldivar wants us to shout out Jenna. I don't know who Jenna is, but Jenna, I hope you're well. Adam Rushkowski saying, thank you for the commentary. Toker88 saying the end is nigh, and we are in the championship rounds now, the fourth round. 8 seconds gone by. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Brendan Sokler. Leg kick landed by Edwards. Both fighters standing in the center of the octagon. And Bren, it has been an interesting night so far. 20 seconds gone by in the fourth round of this fight. But
it certainly has, Matt. I mean, like...
Ooh, Edwards whiffing heavy on an overhand left. Usman piecing him up just a little bit. Kick to the thigh. And then followed by Edwards, but with a left hand by Usman.
I mean, an interesting point being made through the Twitter machine that it is being scored by some as 29-28. Edwards could come back in this round and the final round and still take this, despite a very dominant performance, in my estimation, from Kamaru Usman.
Edwards trying to go for the takedown here. Pressing Usman, trying to use his strength to his advantage. Edwards known for his speed and his punches, but has been stifled on the strike front here tonight. First round was his first real round of effort. But rounds 2 and 3, in my opinion, went to the champion. Edwards now trying to do the thing that he's the only person in UFC history to do, and that's take down Kamaru Usman. He did that early on in this fight. Unsure if he'll be able to do it again. Steps out his right leg, wraps it around the right knee of Usman. Trying to go for a trip takedown, trying to use that left leg as basically a Charlie horse mechanic. Just try to pull that ankle out. And Usman will find a way to slip out of it with 3:11 left to go in round number 4. Usman steps in with a right hand and now gets a takedown of his own on Edwards, crumples him up, and now in the preferred position of Utah residents is Kamaru Usman. Usman, the 7th time in his UFC career where he's landed 5+ takedowns.
You know,
not a great stat.
You give them 5. But he took offense to that.
Yes.
And I liked it.
Usman on top. Edwards just trying to hold on to the back of Edwards' neck. 2:29 left to go in the 4th round. Trying to pop up as a challenger.
It's something really interesting, Matt, that I was thinking about in terms of body types and just the general core strength and quad strength of Kamaru Usman reminds me a lot of GSP in terms of not just their weight class, but their ability to balance and be able to micro maneuver away from most takedowns. I would be very curious to see that fight a few years ago, but I do think we may have tipped the point in terms of George St. Pierre's prime for that to be a viable match now.
Yeah, but you still want to see it. Usman has...
still want to see it. Give it to me, baby.
Usman trying to go for the back of Edwards one more time. Edwards pressing his back up against the fence. Trying to do whatever he can to not give the champion a position. 5:01 in ground control so far in this fight for Kamaru Usman through 3 3/4 rounds. Under 90 seconds left to go in the 4th round. Both men standing, and Usman again in that reverse waistlock position, driving his knees into the thighs and the back of the knee and into the hamstrings of Leon Edwards.
I really don't think Edwards is going to be sitting much tomorrow.
No. He will not be. 55 seconds now.
On pause for a week.
Yep.
Another takedown by Kamaru.
Usman with the 6th takedown in the fight. Quick scramble. But when you're facing an NCAA All-American, scrambles don't help. And we've got a punch to the dick and balls. Got a punch to the dick and balls. Edwards caught Usman. Usman checking on him. Oh, no, they're doing a reset. They're resetting. Let's see what happened here. Oh, he grabbed the fence and something. I'm trying to discern what that was. It was a blatant back into the position now for Edwards and Usman. Oh, he used the fence to get. Edwards used the fence to get out.
Yeah, an illegal use of the fence.
Yeah, damn fence.
Not a dick and balls.
Yeah, they should bring back the Yama pit. That's what I'm thinking. If you've never seen Yama pit fighting before, it's on YouTube. It's worth a look. It's also worth a look. These punches from Usman. 8 seconds. We're about to go to the 5th round here, but Usman trying to close the show, landing shots with impunity, and we will go to the 5th and final with it, my opinion, being 3-1 in favor of the champion. Edwards immediately just looking dejected at the end of the round.
Yeah, I mean, holy shit, Matt. It's one thing to see a normal Kamaru Usman performance where he wrecks shop, but to see him offended, it's scary.
Yeah. Shout out to the over 1,500 human beings joining us in the chat, and if you want to give us some
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
you can donate to the super chat below. And shout out to Spiderweb Marketing. You can use the fence with your legs, but not with your hands. You can't use your toes. You can't, or your fingers. You can't use any appendage to grip the cage. You can't use that, and you can't like kind of climb up it. But you can press off. You can bounce off. You can use your feet. But once you start getting into toes and fingers, and LAE saying they're 1501, well, thank you. Whether you're number 1, 1501, or any point in between, we're so grateful you're joining us here tonight for our main event. An 18,321, the live gate record in Salt Lake City. So Mormons love violence. 5th round now, and it is brought to you by the fact that it is 1 o'clock in the fucking morning here in New York. 4:43 left to go in the round. Punch to the body by the defending champion.
How did it get to be 1 in the morning when all those fights went so quickly?
They know what their video packages. The answer is always video packages. Needed the body by Edwards. Left hand landed by Edwards after one was missed by Usman. Trying to put the pressure on as the defending champion. 4:18 blaze it. Left to go in the round before we go to the scorecards. It has not gone well for Leon Edwards in his career when it goes to the decision. He is decision 10, but he has been every loss in his career has come on the scorecards. While he is +8 in decisions, he needs a finish here tonight to get the title.
Yeah, and I would say it probably doesn't go well for decisions when he's losing 3-1.
Yes.
Odd.
Punches to the body by Usman. Usman trying to go for another takedown. Edwards pressed up against the fence, and there it is. Edwards trying to hold on to it. Wow. Edwards,
did we count that?
He countered. No, because his hand protected him from falling, and he bounced right back up. That was impressive by Edwards.
Yeah, Spider-Man shit right there, Matty.
Yeah, and now pressed up against the fence again, being nuzzled by Usman. Needed the back of the thigh. As the former champion, in a little bit of the current champion in control, the challenger looking to be the future champion in a bit of a picadillo here. 3 minutes left to go in the 5th round.
These foot stomps.
Ow.
Fred Yehai is somewhere smiling right now.
Straight cash, homie.
Adam Rushkowski.
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
Donating 10 more to the cause, saying, here's some more since you're saving me the $75. Thank you. Stand press up against the fence is Edwards. Usman continuing to put the pressure on. And both fighters will break up, and they will go back to the center of the octagon. Herb Dean having none of this bullshit. No, not in this dancery. No hateration in this dancery. Both men back into the center of the octagon. Usman with 2:09 left to go. Push kick by Edwards. Left hand missed by Usman. Left-right combination landed that time by Edwards. Edwards has 2 minutes to close the show. Kick to the body by Edwards. And that one's a kick. And someone got kicked in the penis. It was Kamaru Usman. Champion got kicked in the penis. On second thought, it was the balls. Everybody, he just got kicked in the penis. Sorry, it was in the balls. They've gotta give it a timeout because he got kicked in the balls.
I feel like we see with the slow motions how often it takes a second for the body to register that hit. It's fascinating.
And we're back to it here. A minute 42 left to go. Oh, I'm very tired. I just did a Who's Line game. 90 seconds left to go in the round, in the fight. Usman trying to finish this one off here. Edwards needs to do something to either steal a round and make it closer or knock him the fuck out. There's
output, baby.
There's two. It's a Robert Frost poem. There's two roads diverge in the wood. One of them is theft. The other. Oh my God! Leon Edwards has just knocked the fuck out of Kamaru Usman. He closed the show and knocked out the champion. Leon Edwards has stolen the title and made history. Kamaru Usman has been sent to the motherfucking Phantom Zone.
Give me that Connor walk. You deserve it.
Holy shit.
That's resolve. That's MMA. That is why this sport is so fucking good.
Oh my fucking God.
That's incredible.
I
need a replay stat.
That's a 1 in a million. Like, just watch here. Usman evades and then shot chaser. Caught him with that head kick right in the jaw. Good night, grandma. Brand new champion. Leon Edwards was waiting like the white-suited Yakuza on your front lawn. That left head kick was the window and the wall. And Kamaru Usman is leaving Utah with 10 pounds lighter than he wanted to be. Just out. Just, oh my God, that it might be one of the best knockouts in UFC history. Because of everything that went into that. And you see Leon Edwards' gym, all of his teammates losing their motherfucking minds. And you saw the reaction on camera, guys. I think Joe Rogan just had either an orgasm or a stroke. Holy fuck.
One usually comes before the other, Matt, but yeah.
Jumping G-ho-z fuck fat.
Oh my God, Matt. What the fuck? That is one of the best head kick knockouts.
Here's the thing.
You
know, the UFC's new catchphrase, anyone can get it. That's what happened there. And Kamaru Usman just dejected in the corner after a great performance. He pitched.
Everyone loses.
For almost 20 minutes, he played shutout baseball. But just that one, you throw 75 great pitches, that 76 is going to be the one that gets jacked to the stands. And that's the one that everybody's going to remember. Leon Edwards putting on the championship rash guard. Kamaru Usman devastated. And you know what? And you know what? If Jorge Masvidal or Colby Covington want to talk shit, then they got to step to Leon Edwards first. Because that's a 1 in a million shot.
Yeah.
If this fight happens 10 times, does that happen again?
I don't think so, Matt, but that's the thing. It's who does it on the night. And Leon Edwards, after getting his shit wrecked for like 20 minutes, pulled out a Crow Cop-esque murder death kick to the head, leaned into by Usman. That was bowling shoe ugly. You saw the sweat fly off him. You saw the consciousness leave that man's eyes, and Leon's hands go up as he saw the reaction on Usman's face. He knew it was done.
Jesus, dude.
You got to run it back, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, that automatic rematch. Like, there's no way you don't do a rematch after this. Usman is not walking to the corner for the official decision. Leon Edwards, Usman will walk, and he will be the official decision. It's a TKO, 404 in round number 5. 56 seconds left. Knockout victory. 56 seconds.
Yep.
Was all that need. 56 seconds. He just needed his chin to hold for 56 seconds, and he would have kept the belt.
I don't even think that's a matter of chin, Matt, because that shit got him in the neck, behind the ear, and along the jawline. The 3 points that could utterly wreck your shit, and he got all of them. That is taking the equilibrium, that is taking the soul of Kamaru Usman with one fell swoop that I don't think he can do again. But for tonight, Leon Edwards is champion.
Straight cash, homie.
Shout out to Jeffrey Burton,
Straight cash, homie.
donating $1.99 on the cost. Thank you, Charlene, saying you guys were amazing tonight. Thank you so much.
Straight
You guys
cash,
are
homie.
fucking amazing. Sean Flawless saying this is why it's the best sport in the world. Toker88, this is why we love this sport. If you're a fan of sports, a fan of combat sports, this is what you live for.
Yeah, this was a beautiful thing, Matty.
You don't live for the unanimous decisions. You don't live for the 90-second knockouts. You live for the moments that take you by the hand and show you the boundless humanity that is combat sports.
Yeah.
Because within that 5 seconds, a career was made, a legacy was tarnished, a rivalry was created, a destiny was manifested, and a guy who was held back by this system now stands at the top of the mountain, and now we have more of a reason to see these guys fight for a third time.
Yeah.
4 seconds.
Trilogy fight.
4 seconds changed two men's futures and completely rearranged what we think of the welterweight division. We see the head kick again. It's just cracks him in the chin and then just collapses. He imploded like the fucking kingdom.
Yeah, honestly, I've been waiting for the slow-mo. Yeah, Leon threw a fake there, and it was so fucking fast. But you had Usman really try to deal with that, and because of that, he left himself open. That must have been a very well-trained combination on Edwards' part, because that was smooth as silk.
This is why we love this shit. And September 10th is the next time you will see us here on Combat Culture. I will have a beard again. Brendan will actually be in the studio for the first time in a long time, but it'll be good to have Brendan back in the studio. We'll have Steph, the professor, the fat baby. The whole team will be in the same room at the same time for the first time in a long time. Brendan, you may want to move your camera because you're breaking a law. Just take a look. There we go. Can't see it on camera because I cut it off camera, but shout out to everyone watching, and just what a night. What some amazing fights. This is why we love MMA. Thank you, Edgy1875.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for being here. We're going to wrap it up because it's past 1 a.m., but if you liked what we did tonight, and you're saying great job, and you're saying all these things, and you're like, Matt and Brendan need to be calling fights and going to glory, and you don't tell us. Tell the fucking world. If you liked what you heard tonight, if you want to see us more places, if you want to see us do more things, if you want to see us talk with you guys more and bring what we do here to other places, I've talked to other places. I've pitched this show to MMA companies. I can't do it by myself. Brendan, Steph, all of us, we can't do it on our own. Let people know. Let them know on Twitter. Let them know on Instagram. Let our bosses know. At MMA Mania, at Bloody Elbow. Let the bosses know. Let Bare Knuckle, Glory, PFL, Bellator, whoever. Shit, let the big boys know. Because if that Gronkcast ate a dick, fucking we're right here.
Yeah, and I'm still down for the tag team cage match, which Matt has been asking for all night.
But on that note, for all of us here at Combat Culture, for all of us here at Bloody Elbow and MMA Mania, Brendan, I love this shit, and I appreciate you. Steph, I love doing this shit, love working with you, appreciate you. Olive, you're a fat baby.
Olive, don't take my job.
Until September 10th, we will see you then. But for now, we say so long, and please, don't be an asshole. We love you. Be well.